how to get your first deal. If you have not gotten your first deal, we're going to go through a handful of ways to get your first deal, a couple of cool stories. Today is one of 4. Okay. It'll be 4 days that we're going to be spending time together. We're going to be spending Monday, today 1, day 2 tomorrow, day 3 Wednesday, and day 4 Thursday, all together, probably a total of about 12 hours. My goal of the next 4 days is for you to understand the many ways to get deals. The number one easiest way to get a deal, I'm going to give you take-home homework. I'm going to give you freebies and all sorts of cool resources to make sure that there is no reason you can't get a deal except for you not taking action. In fact, I feel like at the end of this training, after 4 days, if you don't get a deal, okay, if you don't get a deal, it basically is going to be very similar to the video I'm going to play you right now. This video just like hits so hard. It's one of my favorite videos. I watch it anytime I learn something new, whether it's AI or I'm learning a lot more right now about RV parks. And yes, I own about $40 million in RV parks currently, but I'm still learning a lot, right? And anytime I learn something new, but I don't implement it and I don't take action, I think about this video. So as people are trickling in, a couple thousand people are going to be watching today, I thought I'd play a cool little funny Instagram video that just drives me freaking wild. And hopefully you guys don't want to be this guy. And some of you guys, I'm sure, have seen this video, but let's start off by watching this today. Here we go. We'll do a little refresh.
I can't. Well, why not? I just can't help myself. But it's right there. I know. But I just can't do it. Do you not want any coffee? No, I do, very much. Then go for it. I can't. Would you like me to pour you a cup, or? Well, I wish you could. Sure, yeah, but you can't. I can't? No, because I have to do this myself. And no one else can do this for me. I'm sorry, do you want coffee or not? No, I do, I really do. And what's so complicated? You want coffee, you pour yourself some coffee. It's really that simple. I can't do it. I can't do it. Why can't I do it? I just get to the very edge. I can't jump, you know? Do you mind if I have some? No, not at all. Do you mind? Oh, yeah, sure. Anything else? No. Would you care for some, or? Yeah, I would, actually.
All right. Tell me, guys, that is not something you completely resonate with. You guys have gone through, you've learned things. Maybe you've watched me on YouTube 100 times. You've read my book, watched our TV show on A&E. You've done something and you're like, I just can't do the thing. Well, guys, by the end of this week, you are either going to be the person taking action or you're going to be the guy sitting there with every tool available in front of you and you just can't do it. How good is that video, by the way? It is so good. I love that video. It says a million words with only saying about 20 or 30. It's so excellent. And so my goal by the end of this week, so Monday, that's today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my goal by the end of Thursday is for you to go, I know exactly the steps I need to take in order for me to get my first deal. So for those of you guys that are note takers, get your notes out. We're going to get highly technical. We're going to get tactical. I'm going to tell you guys ways that I've helped a lot of people get deals. In fact, as recent as last week, last month, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I've been doing this for a very long time and I absolutely love it. I love this business so much. Can I have the link to this video? Yeah, sure. I'd love to get that link to you guys. You guys can share this around. Here we go. Boom. There's the link to the video in the side chat. And for the people that are on YouTube, guys, we are over on live Zoom. We are going to be doing Q&A at the end of this. So for those of you guys that want to hang out on Zoom and actually come in and raise your hand and have me go through some Q&A, we will be doing that probably in about 2 hours. We'll go through some Q&A. But until then, I will be lowering all hands. So please do not raise your hand and ask questions because I'm not going to go to questions until the end. I have a bunch of training I want to go through and make sure we go through it the right way. So for those of you guys that are watching in the future, I want to respect you guys tremendously by just getting right into it today. So for those of you guys that are watching in the future, please watch me in like 1.25 speed or 1.5 speed. You can go a lot faster. But for those of you guys that are live today, make sure you take notes and raise your hand at the end of the training today. All right. So the first thing I want to cover today is what are the multiple ways I can get a deal? My name is Pace Morby, and I'm known as the guy that buys real estate without any money. I'm the creative finance guy, right? I buy RV parks, mobile home parks, RV parks with mobile home parks, multifamily, big apartments, small apartments. I buy land. I buy multifamily that is, has got some element of Section 8. I've got multifamily that has HUD housing. I've got veteran assistance. I've got sober living. I've got just about every type of asset you can imagine in real estate. And it's all been purchased with no money out of my pocket, no credit check. But that's really not where we're going to go today. I'm going to talk about the practical, easiest way to get your hands on a real estate transaction without really much knowledge at all. Okay. So that's what we're going to jump into right out of the gate. No, this will not be recorded. No, there will not be a replay. And the reason why I'm not going to do a replay is because I've learned that 99% of people will pay attention when it's live. Yes, today is live, guys. If you are watching in the future, I'm sorry you missed out on it live, but it's July 14th, Monday afternoon. It's 6 o'clock, 6:07 p.m. where I'm at here in Montana. It's 5:07 p.m. in California. It's 8:07 p.m. on the East Coast, like Florida, New York, etc. This is live. And I found that most people actually pay attention when it's live. When they watch the replay, the attention span is way smaller. They really don't get what they need. And so I just decided to stop delivering things to people that they don't need. If you're not going to watch it live, then don't watch it at all, is my personal opinion. And I made it available at 5 p.m. in the evening so that more people could watch it live. So let's jump into what are the biggest challenges of getting into real estate. And the first thing I like to talk about are what are the ways I can make money in real estate. Okay. The first way I can make money in real estate, number one, is going to be pretty obvious. It's going to be the fixing and flipping, right? People, you guys already know that. I can fix and flip a property. I can buy it. I can resell it, and I can make a profit, right? Let's say I go buy a house for $405,000. I just bought a $405,000 house a couple of weeks ago. That'll be one of the examples we go through today. I then go put $100,000 of renovation into it, and then I go and sell it for $615,000. Okay, cool. I bought it for 405. I put $100,000 into it, and then I go and sell it for 615. It's a pretty good little profit. I'll probably make about $50,000 net on a deal, something like that. But here's the problem with this. In order for me to buy a deal at 405, I have to have money or access to money. And that is actually pretty simple. I just use a company called myinvestorloan.com. My iPad's moving slower than my hand can write. Myinvestorloan.com is where I get my money. The problem is people are scared to death to go and do their first deal, right? They're scared to death. I can tell you where to go get the money. I can tell you who I use, myinvestorloan.com. I could say it 1,000 times until I'm blue in the face, but somebody that's brand new has this massive fear involved with going and borrowing money. Okay, so while this is simple, and yes, there's systematic processes to go and do this, that's really scary going and borrowing $405,000. Then on the $100,000 renovation, what is the scariest part of the renovation is actually managing the contractors, because so many people have heard of contractors that have robbed other people, or mismanagement happened, or a contractor went over budget, or maybe they didn't do a good job and it had to go back and be redone. All of those things are scary, and they give new people a lot of fear. So what I'm going to train you guys on today, called Birddogging, actually eliminates all of these things and many, many more other obstacles that newer people are having and things that are blocking them from getting into the business. We all know that fixing and flipping is really simple, right? I could go right now and buy a deal on creativelisting.com. Sorry, my iPad's being a little funky today, but you guys can deal with it. creativelisting.com. I can go on creativelisting.com right now, set up a profile for $0, and I can buy deals on creativelisting.com that the SubTo community are selling cash deals, creative finance deals all over the country. Okay. I can go there right now. But that is also scary because what is the big fear here? The big fear is, well, what if I don't know how to comp the property? What if I get the value wrong? Everybody, I'm going to unpause the side chat. I want you to tell me, is this resonating with you just a little bit that you're like, yeah, all of those things are my valid concerns right now? How many people literally are fearful of all of those things I've just said? Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. So, right, value, comp. Oh my gosh, is it a deal or not? Yeah, Pace, I know I could go to Creative Listing right now, but that scares the death out of me. Yes, I know I could go to myinvestorloan.com and borrow the 405, but that scares the death out of me. Yes, I could go get a contractor, but that scares the death out of me. What if he robs me? What if I don't know the right questions to ask him? What if oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. Okay. In fact, what are the number one things that you guys are fearful of out of all of these things just on fixing and flipping alone? What are the things that you are the most fearful of right now? Okay. Losing money, funding. Yes to the 10th power, exit strategy. Okay, great. So exit strategy means when you sell the deal. So what if it doesn't sell for 615? What if it sits on the market? And what if the market goes down? And what if Jerome Powell and Trump and Bitcoin and all of those things are very, very valid. I still, even though I've done hundreds and hundreds of flips, even on national television, I still get stressed out when we buy fix and flips. Okay. Awesome. So let's go into number one. So you guys already know that the first fear, okay, or I'm sorry, the first strategy to make money is fix and flip. Okay. Fix and flip. Great. So yes, you can go and do fix and flips. Yes, you can use all those resources, but that scares a lot of people. In fact, how many of you guys right now, the reason why you haven't done a deal is because your fear has crippled you to death? Give me a me in the comments. Tell me that that is the thing that fear that has kept you. Okay, cool. So your fear, love it. Number two, what's the second way for me to make money in real estate? Well, I can make money in real estate by doing this little thing called buy and hold. Okay, great. So a lot of people are fearful of buy and hold because buying and holding means, oh my gosh, I got to come up with the money. Well, you guys know me as the creative finance guy. I don't use any of my own money. And I have 16,600 people in my SubTo community that are also doing the same thing as me, which is buying RV parks and multifamily. And we're not using credit and but that still scares a lot of people. Okay. Also holding. What does that make you afraid of is tenants. I'm afraid of tenants. Oh my gosh, what if the tenant doesn't pay? In fact, here, let me show you a text message that came across today. Okay. I'll show you a text message that came across from my property management team. They came out and I was on the river. Obviously, I'm in my fishing gear today. And I took like 15 SubTo members out on the river today. And I get a text message from Molly, who is my COO, my chief operating officer, and Kelly, who's one of my transaction coordinators. And I get a text message from Kelly. And she says, hey guys, one of our tenants is basically, we're going to have to evict this person. Okay. She says, hello, hold on just a second. Let me do a screen share. I wasn't planning on showing this to you, but it's a really good example of exactly what I'm talking about right now. Look at this. Kelly and Molly sent me a text this morning at 9:43 a.m. Kelly says, hey guys, Molly, bueno. I sent the cure notice. That scares new people too. You don't even know what a cure notice is. Okay. Guys, if you're going to send, we're not doing the connecting thing in here. I'm just going to pause the side chat, sadly. For the people that are like trying to promote themselves in here today, we're just going to turn the side chat off. So sorry. Okay, cool. So I sent the cure notice and I worked with accounting, Okay, great. Sounds like he's wanting an eviction notice. Ask Sean, that's our attorney, what the next steps are, and let's get things moving. And I reply back today and I said, sorry, I'm no help today, out here fishing with SubTo members. I was just kind of making a joke. But this is the kind of stuff you're going to run into. You're going to run into having tenants and you're going to have to evict them and spend money and deal with an attorney and learn new words like cure notice and all of those types of things. So it's more and more fear. And so people are like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of doing the thing. And even though I can absorb and hear all the information and Pace can teach me all this stuff on the YouTube channel, oh my gosh, I am so afraid of what could happen, right? I'm so afraid. And yes, I know that Pace, I'm afraid of failure is the most ironic statement ever, because the reality is I am currently failing at my life. I'm not living the life I want. I'm not making the money I know I deserve. I'm not living out my dreams. I feel tethered and like completely locked into my job. I feel like I'm in prison. And I'm failing in 10 different ways. I'm not spending enough time with my kids. I'm not spending enough time with my spouse. Yet I'm afraid of failure. And ironically, I'm currently committing the greatest failure of all time, which is I'm wasting my life away. I think everybody knows that. Okay. I think everybody knows that. In fact, let me ask you, does everybody know that that is currently happening? You're committing the greatest failure of all time, which is wasting your life that God gave you, that the universe gave you, yet you are sitting there going, I'm afraid of failure. Ironically, there is no greater failure than the failure you are currently committing. But that, me telling you that, doesn't make it any better. Me telling you that does not make you go, you're right, Pace. All of a sudden, I have no fear. But what I'm going to teach you guys this week, bird dogging will help you remove all of those need to have fear. The strategy that we're going to be focusing on this week, I've taught all sorts of strategies that help thousands and thousands and thousands of people. In fact, I've got 20 people in my kitchen right now having lunch with my wife that all traveled to come and fish with me. People that have done deals because of things I've taught them. They're literally 15 feet away from me. Not 15, probably 50 feet away from me in the kitchen. I've been teaching amazing strategies for a long time, but this strategy that we're going to be going through, the bird dog strategy, will eliminate all of these fears. Okay. Every fear that I've currently named so far. Okay. So what's another way to make money in real estate? Another thing that keeps people up at night is the third way to make money in real estate, which is wholesaling. Okay. I used to be a home investor. A lot of you guys don't know what home investor is, but we buy ugly house people. Okay. I used to be one of those people that would go around and pay for billboards and TV advertisements and radio and all of that kind of stuff saying we buy ugly houses. I was one of those people. Okay. Somebody says, Milo says, help me someone. Milo, be patient. Okay. Let me tell you guys something that's really funny. You guys are so impatient when it comes to your own dreams that you can't even wait for 4 days on a 3-hour training. Yet you guys will go give your boss that you don't like at your job that you hate in a part of your life that is your prime. You went through college, you acquired student debt, you went into a job and a career you did not want to get into. You are living a life that you did not design, that you did not dream of. Instead, you are building somebody else's dream. Yet we have been in this training for 18 minutes and somebody is already like, wait, why have I not gotten a deal? How many people agree? You are so impatient when it comes to your own dreams, but you are ultra patient building somebody else's. Okay. Stop being impatient with your own dreams. Hang out with me for the next 4 days. I promise you, your life will change. You guys went to your job today you hate. You robbed time away from your spouse, your loved ones, your family, whatever, and gave it up to somebody else that did not pay you what you're worth. Yet you came in here in 18 minutes. In 18 friggin' minutes, you could not wait to be like, well, how do I get a deal? I'm giving you the context. I call this laying the runway. An airplane cannot lift in the air without a runway building momentum. And so today and tomorrow we're building the runway. So when I start giving you the tactical things and I start giving you homework, by the time I get to the homework, you're going to go, I have no questions. Pace has already answered all of the questions preemptively. It's like he knew what to teach me in what order. I'm just going to listen to Pace. Can I get that commitment from everybody today that we're going to be patient all the way up until day 3 and day 4 to be like, I'm here. I know Pace is laying the runway. I know if I have a question, chances are Pace is either going to get to it or somebody, if Pace misses it, is going to raise their hand and we're going to cover that in a Q&A. Can I get that commitment from everybody? Can I get a yes in the side comments? We've got 1,800 people in Zoom right now, and we've got couple hundred people over on YouTube. So we got 2,000 people. How many people have definitely committed your life and your energy to somebody else's dreams more than you've committed to your own? Give me a yes if that's you. And if that is you, my friends, let's change that just for a couple of days. Let's change that just for a couple of days. Keep the patience level at an all-time high. These are your dreams. I'm going to build the runway so that we can take this airplane up into the air. Okay. So let's get back into the training. Well, by the way, that was some training. If you missed out on that, that's some good training for you guys that are sitting there spending all your time and your energy on somebody else's dreams other than your own. I'm going to pause the side chat so I can focus on the training. I will from time to time open up the side chat because I want to hear from you guys, but I get people that are promoting their own YouTube channels and whatever stuff. They come onto my webinar. It's really hard to get 2,000 people to show up to a training. And so what people do is they come into the side chat and they try and rob your guys' eyeballs and your attention from your dreams, and they try and take you over to their own YouTube channel or whatever else. So sadly, I got to pause the side chat today to keep our focus away from those knuckleheads, okay? All right, so here we go. The third way to make money in real estate is wholesaling, okay? We all know what fixing and flipping is. We all know what buying and holding is, and buying and holding is pretty awesome because it actually is a really big umbrella. So if you look at the umbrella of buying and holding, we'll just do B and H, buy and hold, right? Be a landlord. This is a really big umbrella. This umbrella consists of Section 8. This consists of Airbnb. This consists of co-living. This consists of regular rentals. Literally anything you can imagine that people are doing, buy and hold covers all of those things. So when I say buy and hold, just understand Section 8 is part of that. I know a lot of people are hot on Section 8 right now and co-living, and our community is crushing both of these things. We have more people doing Airbnbs than Airbnb mentorships have Airbnb deals going on. We are the largest real estate community in the world by far. So we have regular rentals. We do Section 8s. We do sober living. We do assisted living. We do everything you can imagine, but we're not going to talk about that today. Okay. That's not what this training is going to focus on. So buy and hold is really massive. So number one, again, let's just rehearse for the people that are just joining in. Number one, we got fix and flip. Okay. Number two, we've got buy and hold. And then number three, we've got wholesale. Okay. Now, what is the problem with wholesale? Let's talk about what wholesale is in just a matter of maybe 2 minutes. I'll explain what wholesaling is for the people that don't know. Wholesaling is where a seller has a home, and let's say that this seller is in foreclosure. Okay. If you guys want me to show you how fast I can pull up a foreclosure list, let me show that to you guys right now. I'll just show you how simple it is to pull up a foreclosure list. Welcome to 2025. It is truly that simple to pull up a foreclosure list. So let's go. I'll start from scratch. We'll go right to here. I'm going to go to something called Deal Sauce. By the way, we're not going to be using Deal Sauce this week. I'm not going to be training you on this software. What I'm going to be teaching you guys this week does not require a single dollar or any software whatsoever. So we're going to have a lot of fun this week. So I can come into Deal Sauce. This is how fast it is. I can just choose Maricopa County. I like Maricopa County. It's where I live in the wintertime. And I can just come in here and just change the filter to come down to foreclosures. Okay. I can just go, I want to find all the foreclosure people. I can find, let's see, zombie houses, foreclosures. Let's go to foreclosures. All right, cool. It's going to go and give me 19,193 foreclosures, as you guys can see right here. Guys, it doesn't take time to find people in distress. It doesn't take time to find people that are losing their home because they're behind on payments. Okay. It literally, I pulled up 19,193 opportunities in less than 30 seconds. Give me a number one in the side chat if you've never seen that in your entire life. Give me a one in the side chat if you're like, holy moly, Pace just pulled up 19,000 people that need our help. Okay. That's how simple this is. This business really is very simple. What is the problem with this? I will get to in a second. What wholesaling is let's say we call one of those 19,193 people that are just in Maricopa County. Okay. Just that little city. There's 19,000 people currently in foreclosure. Okay. So let's say that I, Pace, the wholesaler, I go and I pull that list, right? What I just did right there is called pulling a list. I go on software like Deal Sauce, and Deal Sauce costs $100 a month. I'm not promoting that, talking about it. We're not going to use it this week at all. I just helped a homeless person get her first deal. She spent $0. I'm going to train you guys how that happened. So do not worry. I'm not promoting any software whatsoever. So Pace goes and spends some money on some software, right? I spend the $97. I go in there and I get a list and I start calling people. The first thing that you're going to run into when you are out wholesaling is the fear of, what do I say? Oh, what's my script? What happens if they say no? What happens if they say yes? What if they yell at me? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Fear, 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 fear. Okay. I haven't even started talking about how do I negotiate? How do I comp? How do I make sure the paperwork is proper? How do I make sure that when I get the deal under contract, this is what wholesalers do. Okay. If I am a wholesaler, this is what I do for a living. I go and find people that are in foreclosure. Okay. Off that list. This is me. And I call them up and I say, hey, Mr. that's in foreclosure, I would like to buy your house. And in fact, I'll buy your house. I'll give you an offer for $200,000. Now, immediately, if I'm new, guess what I'm thinking? Pace, where'd that $200,000 come from? How do I know what the offer is? Oh my gosh, how do I know how am I going to make any money? What do you say? How do you pitch it? All of the thousands of questions that pop up over and over and over and over that prevent people from taking any action whatsoever. Give me a number one if I'm resonating with you right now in the side chat. I got 1,800 and more people. How many people are like, yeah, this is exactly why I haven't started in any of this stuff. I've watched you on YouTube. I've watched other people on YouTube. Oh my gosh, Pace, you are resonating with me. But Pace, don't you have students that are doing wholesale? Yeah, I have thousands of students that have learned how to wholesale from me. Pace, don't you have students that have gotten financially free by building a massive portfolio? I've seen the testimonials. I've seen the people doing the thing. Yes, I get that, but that is not you, right? You haven't learned that from me. Well, Pace, don't you have people that are fixing and flipping like crazy? I've seen them on your YouTube channel. Yes, I do. Absolutely. But I'm not training on that today. I'm training on a more simple, less expensive, super, super basic way of getting your first deal. That's our focus today. So let's say that this wholesaler gets this property under contract. Forget about the paperwork. Forget about how he got it under contract. Those are all their own steps on its own. What a wholesaler does is a wholesaler goes around and now finds a buyer, okay? Finds a buyer that will buy this deal from this wholesaler for an average of $15,000 fee. We call that fee an assignment fee. Can you make more money? Yeah, I have a student that made $600,000 on one deal, just finding a deal for a buyer. Okay. You can make anywhere between $5,000 to $600,000. You can make $1 million depending on how big the deal is. But the industry average on the first wholesale deal is about $15,000. This wholesaler never had to buy the property. They never had to come up with any money. They essentially are just selling the contract to that buyer. Okay. So I'm going to go through this one more time because this does confuse a lot of people. So for those of you guys that know wholesale, thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate it. This is how it works once again. Okay. Seller is in foreclosure. Wholesaler, we're just going to write WS, gets a contract on this property for $200,000. The wholesaler then goes and finds a buyer who's going to go and fix and flip it or put it in their portfolio. And they then sign a new contract. Okay. So this contract right here, the first contract, we call this the A to B contract. By the way, how many of you guys would like me to give you my most updated contract? Let's hold on. My mouse is being funky. My iPad's like, I don't want you using your mouse today. How many of you guys want me to give you our newest? It's like probably costs us about $5,000 to refresh our purchase contract, A to B contract, our B to C contract, and our C to D contract. I will give that to you guys tomorrow afternoon. We have it currently getting refreshed by our attorney right now, a little bit better than ChatGPT. This is a contract that we currently use. I will give that to you guys tomorrow afternoon, and then I will walk you through on day number 3 how to fill those contracts out. So don't worry about the paperwork yet. On day number 3, we will definitely be going through that. That's not important, okay? The contract comes after we take a little bit of action. And so I'm going to show you guys today what the strategy is. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to take action. And then on day 3, we're going to show you how to fill out those contracts. And we'll give those to you guys on day 2. So day 2, I'll give you the contracts at the end of the day. Day 3, we will spend probably an hour and a half filling out those contracts. Does that sound cool, guys? You guys all good with that? Awesome. 850 people on the live Zoom. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. So pausing the side chat once again. All right, so here's what wholesalers do. The wholesaler will get this contract, okay, called the A to B contract. They will then go get a new contract with the buyer. So there's two active contracts going on. This contract is called the B to C contract. And he'll go and sign this contract over for $215,000, essentially making a $15,000 fee. What's beautiful is the wholesaler never once had to buy the property, come up with any money. All they had to do was figure out how to find the people that are in foreclosure, negotiate with the people on foreclosure, figure out what the right price is, the contract, overcome their fear, get good at sales, figure out how to find a buyer, how to negotiate with the buyer. That sounds like a lot of work. It's very simple, but it is a lot of work. And so for somebody that's brand new trying to get into the game, you can understand why a lot of people are sitting here going, all right, I'm having a hard time getting into the business. It's not that I don't know the information. It's not that I don't understand what the concepts and how to make money are. It's that I'm just straight up fearful of taking the steps because there's so many steps. Give me a me in the comments if that is you. If this resonates with you and you're sitting here like, dude, you're hitting the nail on the head. I know that I could wholesale and I know I don't need a real estate license. Guys, you don't need a real estate license for anything in real estate. Anything. People ask me all the time, should I get a real estate license? And I say, no, I don't have one. Okay. What if you don't find someone to buy the assignment? There you go. Yasmin. What if you don't find every single worry you can imagine? I've seen them. I watch people do it all the time, and people are so overwhelmed by it that they just don't take any action. Okay. Now, there is a really cool analogy I like to use with Walmart of exactly what wholesale looks like, okay? So let's jump into what wholesale looks like using an analogy of Walmart. Then what we're going to do is we're going to jump into what the strategy is of the day, and we're going to jump in from the Walmart analogy into that next thing. So wholesaling is the analogy I'm going to give you right now, even though I'm going to be talking about chickens and I'm going to be talking about Walmart and I'm going to be talking about other things. Just know that I'm actually tying it into wholesale. Okay. Does everybody understand in here that Costco is a wholesaler, Amazon is a wholesaler, Foot Locker is a wholesaler, all of these stores? You guys already understand what a wholesaler does, right? You guys know that Home Depot doesn't chop down the wood and make the 2x4s, right? Home Depot buys them from the lumber yard and then they wholesale them to you, correct? Cool. So wholesaling is everywhere. You participated today in a wholesale transaction. It is literally everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Wholesale exists and you participated today. How many people participated in a wholesale transaction today? You bought gas, you went to Costco, you went to Walmart, you bought something on Amazon. How many people participated as the buyer in a wholesale transaction today? Okay, welcome to wholesale. It is in real estate. It is very prevalent. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions going on every single day. So when people ask me, how do I get into the business of real estate? I always go, well, wholesaling is really simple. Doesn't cost really a lot of money, but wholesaling does require negotiating, understanding how to comp, paperwork, contracts, all of those types of things. Okay. There is a strategy that I'll jump into in about 20 minutes called birddogging that does not require really any of those things. And you can get your first deal. In fact, there's a couple of people on the live today that I'll probably even pull up. I didn't know they were going to be on the live, but I see their name in the side chat that have birddogged deals to me. And they've made $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. I just paid somebody $60,000 birddogging an RV park to me. I've paid somebody $120,000 birddogging a multifamily deal to me 3 years ago. And I probably at some point in my career will pay somebody $1 million on a big, big, big multifamily transaction for bringing that deal to me. I look forward to the day. So let's jump into what a wholesaling is with a Walmart analogy. Then we'll jump into what birddogging is. And then what we'll do is I'll explain a couple of stories of how people have done this. And then I'll open up to Q&A, because what's going to happen is when I teach you the birddog strategy, you will overthink so hard. It is so simple. It is so basic that you're going to go, there's no way I'm not missing something. There's no way I'm not missing something. Pace, and you're going to create things, and you're going to create the boogeyman in your mind, and you're going to ask questions. And then I'm going to be a little bit jokey with you when you raise your hand and I answer your question. I go, did you not pay attention to that part? Well, Pace, I did pay attention to that part, but there's no way it's that simple. Yes, it truly is that simple. Okay. We will give you all of the training. It's going to be great. Now, something else that's awesome today is how many people want me to give them a list of the buyers of the entire country. Okay, I have 15,000 buyers that I'm going to be giving away to everybody that sticks around with me today. Saravia, my team, is currently pulling it. I think it's going to cost like $4,000. We're going to give that to you guys today, so you guys have a buyer for your deals. Okay, I'm going to give that to you guys today. Pretty freaking awesome. How much will you have to pay me for that? $0. I want you to be successful, especially people that are in my free Facebook group. I want you guys to be successful. So let's jump into the whiteboard. All right, cool. So let's jump into what wholesaling is from a Walmart perspective. Okay. Walmart does not create products. They do not buy products. You guys don't really realize this, but Walmart doesn't even buy products. They wholesale products. So here we are. We are the buyer. We go down to Walmart. And let's say that we want to find some eggs. Everybody in here is eating eggs, I imagine. Most everybody except for the weird vegetarians. You guys forget eggs are bomb. Okay. Just kidding. Vegetarians are cool too. Vegetarians are people too. I'm just joking. So let's say I go down to Walmart and there's eggs on the shelf. And those eggs are, let's just say $5. Don't get into the comments and talk about how eggs are $7 for you and $4 for you. It doesn't matter. This is just an example. Walmart did not make or produce those eggs, right? There was a farmer, okay, an egg farmer. And what's funny is that farmer also did not make those eggs. The farmer represents their client who did make the eggs, which is, I'm sorry, my chicken is so bad. This is a chicken, by the way. I know it looks like a butterfly or something. The chicken is making the eggs. But because the chicken doesn't know how to sell its own eggs, it goes and hires representation, which is the farmer. So let's tie this into our analogy. Who is the chicken? The chicken is the seller, the person who sells their property. They're selling their property. It's their product. It's their house that they're selling. Who's the farmer? The farmer is, let's say, a real estate agent. Okay. Chickens have a really hard time selling eggs on their own. Okay. Farmers help create this transaction and they go and they sell these houses. Okay. What is so cool, and this is a wholesaler. Okay. Wholesaler goes and builds a relationship with the real estate agent and says, hey, I would like to take your product and I'd like to mark it up and sell it to my buyer. Walmart, I'm going to teach you guys something cool about creative finance. Did you guys know that Walmart actually does not pay for those eggs until those eggs have been purchased by the buyer? Did you guys not know that? Okay, what's really cool, this is new information for a lot of people. What happens is the buyer comes along, pays Walmart the $5. Walmart then pays the farmer and the chicken 90 days after Walmart was paid. Okay. Pretty freaking awesome. Okay. This is creative finance. Walmart can go out and fill their shelves with somebody else's product, sell that product, collect the money, and then pay the farmer 90 days later. This is called net 90, net 45, net 30, net 60, depending on the situation. It's called net 90 for a lot of times. Okay. There you go. Angie says Walmart is the extreme wholesaler. So let me ask you a question. Can Walmart make money on eggs without having to buy the eggs? Can Walmart make money on eggs without having to produce the eggs? Can Walmart make eggs without having to even manage the chickens? Okay, welcome to being in real estate. You guys, if you chose to be a wholesaler, which I was a wholesaler for a very long time, still wholesale deals, but I wouldn't identify myself as a wholesaler anymore. I'm more of a buy and holder. I like to put things in my portfolio. You guys can jump into this business just like Walmart is. You can go get a product. You can go sell it at a higher number. You don't need a license. You don't need any money. But as a wholesaler, you need some negotiating power. You need to know how to get these contracts set up and how to bridge the gap between what the farmer wants and the buyer wants. And you got to understand how to, price the eggs appropriately and make sure you do customer service and all of these types of things. Wholesaling is no different. You have to know how to comp. You have to know how to do the paperwork. You know how to protect yourself. You have to have the right LLC. You have to have all of these things. Okay. But there's another person involved in the Walmart transaction that I think a lot of you guys have probably participated in. Does everybody understand what wholesaling is? Give me a yes if you guys understand what wholesaling is. We can move on from this. Okay, we got 1,900 people in here now. Okay, cool. So you understand what wholesaling is, which is awesome. Okay. There's another role in all of this. How many of you guys have used Instacart, Uber Eats, or some sort of food delivery service, GoPuff, something along those lines? Give me a yes that you guys have done that. DoorDash, there you go. There's another one. I don't know what they all are, but everybody, almost everybody has participated in one of those delivery services. Do we all agree? Okay, awesome. I want you guys to write down, whoever is a note taker, I want you to write down that the bird dog, the person who is bird dogging, is essentially DoorDash or GoPuff or Uber Eats. Okay. That is the bird dog of the transaction. Okay. Spark. Cool. Spark is Walmart. I love that. So I want you to understand that bird dogging, are you the wholesaler if you are the bird dog? Yes or no? No, you are not. Okay. You are not the wholesaler. So a lot of people go, oh, so like bird dogging is like wholesaling. Yeah, except it's not. Uber Eats does a very different job than Walmart does. Walmart is the one negotiating the eggs. They're communicating with the agent. They're communicating with the seller. They're getting the eggs under contract. And then they're arbitraging and selling that. They're doing so much more than Uber Eats. Okay. So let's go and let's draw this out so you guys understand what a bird dog is. Again, every deal that you will ever do will always start with a seller of whatever that deal is. This could be a business. I buy businesses with creative finance. This could be an apartment building. This could be an RV park. This could be a single family home. This could be a piece of land, a piece of dirt, Section 8, Airbnb. It does not matter what the heck it is, but there always has to be a seller of the deal. Okay. So I see a lot of people that will go, oh, I want to get into Section 8. Great. Who's the seller? How are you going to find the deal? How are you going to get your hands on the deal? That is the number one skill you should be learning. Forget about Section 8. Forget about Airbnb. Forget about co-living. Forget about multifamily. Learn where to find these sellers. Okay. So every deal starts with a seller. In this particular situation, the seller is the chicken, right? We already talked about this. They're producing the product, the egg, the house, right? Then the seller goes and hires the farmer or the real estate agent. Okay, cool. That agent in this situation is the farmer. They represent the chicken. They're making sure that those products can be sold in the appropriate marketplace and then get the highest and best possible price as they can. The wholesaler, okay, is the person that did what I just did. Okay, which is, let's go again. Let's go back to the software. Let me show you guys this thing one more time. I can go in here and I can say, all right, I'm going to give you guys another website. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this website, but let's just go to one of my favorite websites, Crexi.com. Crexi.com, Crexi.com, Crexi.com. I'm going to log into Crexi.com. You don't have to. It's completely free. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to type in owner finance on Crexi. This is going to sidetrack a lot of people, by the way. People are going to go to Crexi instead of paying attention. Which is why I don't love going to the software. But let's say I go and I find, okay, here's an RV park, Anchorage, Alaska RV park. Well, guess what? Annette Scott is the farmer. Okay. Annette Scott and Jacob Brown are the listing agents. They are the people that are representing the seller who has this property. And they are trying to sell this property. They are trying to do owner finance. I could call them. I'll probably call them tomorrow or Wednesday. Maybe I'll call them Thursday. I don't know. And I'll show you how to make these calls. Okay. But if I'm making the call to the agent or I'm making a call to the seller, I am not a bird dog in that scenario. Can we all write that down? Got 1,850 people in here with me today. Can we all write that down? It's going to come up so many times. It's going to come up so many times where people go, hey, Pace, I've got a lead. I'm talking to the agent. Okay, great. So you're a wholesaler. You're not the bird dog. Bird dog will never talk to the agent. They will never talk to the seller because that is a more challenging job. Okay. Wholesaling is Walmart's job. They are communicating with the farmer. They're getting the contracts. They're doing all of those things. The bird dog is way more simple than that. Does everybody understand? The wholesaler talks to the agent or to the seller directly. That is not the bird dog's job. If you are bird dogging, you are never going to be talking to the agent or the seller. Can I all get a yes? I'm going to say it again for the third time. And the reason why I'm going to say it for the third time, Pace, you repeat yourself so many times. Yeah, because I've taught so long that I understand where are the breaking points and what do people not understand and what are they mixing up? What in 2 days, people are going to ask a question about, hey, like I'm trying to wholesale a deal. Okay, great. And in my mind, I immediately go, okay, you're talking to an agent or you're talking to a seller because you're a wholesaler. Your job description and the words you use actually make it easier for me and everybody else in this industry to help you. Pace, nobody wants to help me. Yeah, because you're using the wrong words, which we'll cover a little bit later today. Okay. So the wholesaler talks to the agent, talks to the seller directly because they are trying to get the house under contract. If the property is not under contract and you are actively negotiating with an agent or a seller, do we all agree that that is so freaking challenging if you are brand new? You don't know how to comp, you don't know how to negotiate, you don't know how to do sales, you don't know how to do paperwork. Do we all agree that's incredibly challenging when you are brand new? Okay, cool. Bird dogging is way more simple than that. I already saw somebody in the side chat go, so what's the bird dog's job? Patience, my friend. Have I wasted any time today in the last 46 minutes? Am I dilly-dallying around? Am I dancing around? Am I getting right to the point? And I'm talking as fast as a micro machine guy, as fast as possible, yet your patience level is still at a 0. Again, let's cover this again. You've given so much more time and attention to somebody else's dream and your boss's job that he gave you and the paycheck that you slave away for every 2 weeks that you don't even give yourself 4 minutes to learn a new topic. Chill out and be patient, my friend. Okay. All right. So the wholesaler is communicating directly with the agent or the chicken directly. Okay. That is the wholesale relationship. Obviously, this is Walmart. Okay. This person is Walmart here. Cool. Now, the wholesaler is so busy doing this job. Okay? They're so busy doing this job. They're going out, finding new leads, pulling new things, making calls, follow up, fixing their CRM, going on appointments, getting the contract, follow up. They very rarely have time to go find their buyers. Okay. They very rarely have time to go find the buyers, which is why DoorDash comes in and why some of these other companies come in. They come in and they go, hey, let me make this transition between you and your buyer over here. Let me make that just a little bit easier. And so what the bird dog will do, let me make the bird dog. I'm going to make the bird dog this whole entire week. The bird dog is going to be purple. Okay. The bird dog, BD, big deal. Okay. The bird dog in this situation is DoorDash. They essentially take the order from the buyer. So the buyer, every transaction in this situation for the bird dog starts with the buyer. Okay. If you are a buyer on DoorDash and you want to order eggs to your home, man, I don't want to go down the grocery store. I don't want to go find the wholesalers. I just want to fix and flip a house. I just want to fix and flip. You now go to a bird dog. This is what I do a lot of times, and I'll show you guys a good guy that I buy a good amount of deals from, a guy named Ernest. And I'll show you guys what my text interchange looks like with him. The bird dog is somebody who literally is just the intermediary between who has the contract and who wants the contract. It is so unbelievably simple. You are going to overcomplicate it. And the reason why you're going to overcomplicate is because you don't know what a wholesaler does. A wholesaler, who that's what I was for 9 years, it's a full-time job. It's 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day to make $100,000 a month. It is incredibly arduous, which means a lot of work, very time consuming. They don't have a lot of time to go out and find buyers and nurture buyers, especially when sometimes buyers are not buying. You also, if you are saying this is too simple, it's because you've never fixed and flipped a house before. You've never waited for permits or raised capital or managed contracts. You don't understand how busy the buyer is. And so you just assume a buyer is always buying deals. Okay. Let's cover something really important before I go deeper into what the bird dog's jobs are and how they make money and what the tasks are and what you can do to become a bird dog and all of those types of things. The buyer, guys, let's ask this question. If I'm a buyer, I fix and flip houses, can I just buy as many houses as I possibly want? Or do you think I have a limitation on how many houses I can handle at any one given time? Okay. So let's say that I have a wholesaler who's sending me deals. Okay. This is how this business works. Please pay attention. This is another thing that constantly comes up on day 2, day 3, day 4. A wholesaler is doing what? They're pulling a list. They're communicating with the seller. They're talking to agents. They're negotiating. They are directly communicating to get that property under contract. The wholesaler then goes to their buyers and says, hey, I got a deal. Do you want to buy it? And their buyer very frequently, I'm a buyer, and I very frequently tell my wholesalers that bring me deals, hey, I'm not currently buying right now. I'm currently on pause because I have more properties than I can currently handle. What happens to that wholesaler? Does that wholesaler go, oh, no worries, I'll just cancel the contract I have with the seller because you're not able to buy? Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? Is that everybody is sitting there going, okay, well, you know what? I guess my buyer can't buy, so I'm just going to cancel my contract. Or does the wholesaler go find another buyer? Okay, great. So what happens is now that buyer goes and works on a couple of houses. That buyer goes and finishes those houses and then goes back to the wholesaler and says, hey, I'm ready for a deal. Does that magically make sure that the wholesaler has a deal sitting in their pocket? And the wholesaler goes, great, I've been waiting for you to be ready. Or is there a constant timing issue between the buyer and the wholesaler? Can we all agree that the wholesaler and the buyer are constantly out of sync with each other with these 2 or 3 things going on? Can we all agree to that? Okay. Is there always a perfect thing of like, oh, wholesaler buys a deal, buyer always buys it, and it's perfect timing? No. There's thousands of these transactions going on in your city right now, no matter where you are in the United States, Puerto Rico, it does not matter. There are thousands of these transactions going on and thousands of these relationships going on in every single market in your city. I'm going to be covering that on day 2 and day 3. Okay. Thousands of them are happening. Text messages. Oh, sorry, I'm not ready to buy. In fact, has anybody sent me a deal in the last couple of weeks and you got an automatic reply from my team saying Pace's team is currently on pause buying deals? Give me a yes in the side comments if you have gotten a yes you've gotten an email from my team saying we are not actively buying. Welcome to fixing and flipping. I can't just flip 30 houses. That's crazy. We flip 20 houses a year, which means I'm buying a deal once every 2 to 3 weeks. That's it. So if I buy 5 deals in 1 month, guess what? I'm probably not going to buy a deal for 2 more months. Does everybody understand this? Okay. My team is currently on automatic reply. So people are like, well, Pace, I want to find deals for you. Well, good luck. I'm going to train you guys on how to find buyers like me. And if you are already in the SubTo community, I will give you guys access to the highest possible buyers in the country. Today, I'm going to give you guys, everybody on here, I'm going to give you a generic list. I don't know these 15,000 buyers. I just know they are buying. We pulled the list. We skip traced, which means we paid money to get their phone numbers. And we're going to give that to you. But I don't have a personal relationship with these buyers I'm going to give you today. If you are in SubTo, I have a list of people I've personally done deals with. FYI, okay? Very few people in here in the SubTo community. Most of the people in here today are not in the SubTo community, okay? Most people in here are not a student of mine. They're just in here for free knowledge, okay? So do we all understand that a fix and flipper is not constantly buying every deal from the wholesaler, and there's an out of sync sequence that happens very frequently? Cool. So what's great is that somebody comes in between all of that and helps buffer the timing, okay? They play the buffer. That person is the bird dog. Okay. And so what happens is the bird dog goes to a buyer. So step number 1 of being a bird dog. Step number 1, if you are a note taker, this is the time you want to write down the steps on how to be a bird dog. Okay. Step number 1, how to be a bird dog. Step number 1, start with a buyer every time. 100% of the time, start with a buyer, which is why the gift that we are giving you today is a list of buyers. I'm going to give you 15,000 buyers nationwide So no matter where you are in the country today, okay, there's more. We've got 2,000 people hanging out with us today live. I'm going to be giving away 15,000 buyers. Do we need more buyers than 15,000, my friends? Or do you think we got you covered today by giving you 15,000 buyers? Cool. It's all you need. Okay. You only need one buyer. Now that leads me into step number 2. Step number 2 is only one buyer until you get your first deal. You only have one buyer until you get your first deal. Okay. And I'll tell you why that's the case. Sorry, my iPad is being super funky today. I got to restart it or do something. It's super laggy. So step number 1, start with the buyer. I'm going to give you 15,000 buyers. Tomorrow, I'll show you how to call and communicate with these buyers, because you're also, as somebody who's brand new, going to be so afraid. Do you think somebody like me that wants to fix and flip houses, do you think I'm afraid of somebody, or do you think I'm going to yell at you calling me up and saying, hey, I'm brand new to real estate and I learned how to find deals for people just like you. Are you actively buying right now? Can I bring you opportunities? How many buyers are going to hate you for doing that? None. Zero, zilch. So super simple on that side. So step number 1, we'll cover that tomorrow. How to find a buyer. I'm going to give you the list. If you guys ask me a question about qualifying the buyer, I'm going to fly to your house and smack you sideways. This list of buyers I'm giving you is buying at least 20 deals a year. Why do I know that? Because we pulled this list from Deal Sauce. This list shows us, we can go in there and click and go, I want buyers that are buying 20 or more deals a year nationwide, and it pulls public data, right? Anytime you buy a property, it shows up on county records. Okay. Your county records will qualify and clarify the fact that that person is a legitimate buyer. Do I need to clarify it more than that, than public records showing that that person bought 20 or more deals? Yes or no? No. My friends, please stop asking, how do I qualify the buyer? I'm giving you buyers that have already been qualified. They are on public record. Okay. Okay. So this is a good question. I'm going to jump on this. And this is a fear-based question this is not an experience-based question. This is a fear-based question. And I will tell you that the person asking this question, Gabriel Laguna. Gabriel, how you doing, man? I can tell you that Gabriel has never done a deal based on this question. Gabriel, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You've never done a deal, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I actually, I did.
Okay, hold on. We can't go on side tangents. I gotta go fast. What I've learned is if I don't go fast, people lose attention. Gabriel, you've never done a deal. How do I know that? Have you and I ever spoke?
No.
Okay, so I only know that you have not done a deal based on the question that you asked, which the question you asked is a newbie question based on lack of experience. The question that he asked everybody, great question, by the way, it will pop up over and over, which is why I pulled it out of the side chat. He says, what prevents the people on this list from going around us and cutting us out of the deal? Gabriel, I also assume you've never fixed and flipped a house before.
You are correct.
Okay, so here's why I asked that. And it's not to criticize you or say, oh, neener, you've never done anything. It's actually to highlight the mindset that goes into that question. The mindset that goes into that question is somebody that does not understand the amount of time, energy, and effort that goes into flipping a house is a full-time job. So if I'm fixing and flipping houses, I very rarely am also wholesaling houses. Wholesaling houses, okay, Gabriel, what's your favorite sport?
Boxing.
Okay, boxing. That's a really bad example. Give me another one.
Football.
Actually, let's go to boxing. Is there a point where most of these coaches that are coaching the boxers, is there a point where they may be boxed at an earlier age?
Yes.
Okay, and they got all this experience and they upgraded through their life to being a coach instead of being pounded in the face by somebody else, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Very rarely that you'll see a coach also going and boxing in the ring in another match, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's the same thing with fixing and flipping. Even though fixing and flipping is part of the business of boxing, wholesaling is also part of the business of boxing. Those are completely two different roles that are full-time jobs. Can I be a full-time coach and a full-time boxer, or are those two isolated jobs by themselves?
Yeah, they're isolated.
Okay, cool. So that in the boxing analogy, that'd be like me saying, hey, I want to go box this opponent, but what's keeping my coach from going around my back and boxing the opponent for me?
So I
Hold
understand.
on. Does that make any sense in the sport of boxing that anybody would ever do that?
No, that doesn't make
Okay.
sense.
It also does not make any sense for a fix and flipper to go around your back to go and screw you out of a deal because they are not skilled in negotiating, finding contracts, and they are so busy at a permanent planning department. They're so busy raising capital, busy dealing with contractors, choosing the backsplash not showing up. Oh my gosh, the grout's the wrong color. Holy crap, we're hemorrhaging money. They're so busy doing their job that they do not have time to go around your back. Can I tell you where the fear comes from people going around your back?
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, it's called daisy chaining. It's when people lie and say, I'm a buyer in a Facebook group. Okay. It's always in a Facebook group. There's no way to verify that that buyer is a real buyer because you're not looking at public records. What you're looking at is somebody in Facebook going, hi, I'm a buyer. I'd like to buy deals from you. And what they're really doing is they're doing what we call daisy chaining. They're lying to you and they're lying to everybody else that they are a buyer when in fact they are not a buyer. They are what we call a daisy chainer. A daisy chainer is a liar. I want you guys to write that down for the note takers. If somebody says, well, how is this different from daisy chaining? How is bird dogging different from daisy chaining? Here's how this works. If I'm a daisy chainer, I go into Facebook groups and go, hey guys, I'm buying deals. Yet I've never bought a deal in my entire life. What I do is I wholesale those deals or I go around people's backs. If I'm not a buyer, I should not lie and say I'm a buyer. A bird dog says, hey guys, I'm looking for deals for my buyer. I'm brand new to real estate. Please let me know when you have a deal. Do you see the big difference between the daisy chainer and the bird dogger?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So there are people that will go around you. They are not buyers. The people that will go around you are lying to you that they are buyers. They will not be the people on my list that are verified buying deals on county records, borrowing hard money, raising private capital, pulling permits. They're doing all of that thing. They are the boxing coach. They are the actual boxing coach. I can verify it. I can see it on public record that they are buying 20 plus deals a year. When you're in Facebook and somebody says, hi, I'm a buyer, there's no way to verify that, which is why I'm not going to teach you guys how to go find buyers out of the Facebook group, because now you guys are going to have to go, well, hey, what's your LLC and what was the last? Dude, that's just awkward. How about I just give you a list of 15,000 people that I know are buying 20 plus deals a year? So there is a worry, and it's a legitimate worry when somebody is daisy chaining, they lie and say they are a buyer. I hate that too. It's horrible. And so I just stopped going into Facebook groups and trying to sell my deals to people that say they're buyers. I'd rather just pull public record and get the actual buyer that is actually buying the deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a great analogy as well. So thank you.
Cool. And what am I missing? And now would be a good time for you to ask a question. I'm sorry I cut you off twice. I just wanted to get to the point.
Oh, no. That was actually good that you cut me off because I think you did get right to the point. I was just kind of picturing, like you bring them the deal, what's stopping them from like, okay, now I have the deal. But the way you explained it does make sense.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not gonna pretend that there might not be at some point in the future a random buyer that also used to be a wholesaler. So they have the skill of negotiating, they have the skill of all of those things. I, as a fix and flipper, started out as a wholesaler. So I have the skill of going in the living room, finding the deals, negotiating, doing all of those things. But I also have been in the business long enough to know that like you cannot find one person online. I've been in the business 12 years. You will find people that don't like me. Anytime you do cool things and change the industry, you're always going to find people that hate you. It's usually always a white dude that hates me because I'm another white dude that's doing cool things. And so there's jealousy and whatever else. There's people that don't like me, but there's not one person that will ever say I screwed them or took advantage of them. It's not ever going to happen. It's impossible for me if I'm a buyer and I screwed somebody over by going around their back. It's impossible in our industry for that not to decimate that person's business. So there's a guy in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll give you a good example. His name's John May. John May has kind of gotten pushed out of the industry multiple times because he's screwed so many people over. Said he was a buyer, but he wasn't really a buyer. And then what happens is the industry talks about him and he gets pushed out. And then 4 or 5 years later, he gets back in, and guess what? His reputation is still there. And people go, oh, John is pretending to be a different LLC, and they push him out of the industry. It does happen. It's just very rare. It's probably 1 in 1,000 people you'll run into are like that. 1 in 1,000. But the majority of the people, 99.9% of the people that you're communicating to, if you can pull public record that they actually bought a deal in the last couple of months, those people, they understand the compound effect of quality relationships. The people that are actually buying deals on public records, the ones you can verify, they don't want to screw up relationships. I am okay with paying people $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. And I want to teach you something really quick. So Gabriel, are you Gabe or Gabriel?
I go by both.
Okay, cool. So Gabriel, I'm going to tell you guys a couple of stories, real stories with real addresses today. Give you guys a couple of examples of people that Birddogged and brought deals to me. Okay, homeless lady, a couple of other girls. I posted about them in the Facebook group. Just a couple of deals I've done this year with people that are Birddogged. I'm paying these people $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on top of the wholesaler's fee. And then the wholesaler goes and makes 15 or 20 or 30. One of my wholesale students made 50 grand wholesaling it to a Birddog. The Birddog made 15 grand wholesaling it to me. It's like, Pace, don't you know the student that made $50,000? I'm like, yeah, I did, but I didn't know it was him until after I closed. But, well, aren't you pissed off that you had to pay somebody $15,000? That's another question that comes up all the time. Well, no. I buy real estate, Gabriel, with hard money and private money. It's not my own money. I'm literally buying a deal that somebody else found, somebody else negotiated, somebody else went and did the paperwork on, somebody else went and did the negotiating and following up and following up and following up. I then buy the deal with somebody else's money. I then use somebody else's labor to do the renovation, and I'm just short $15,000 on my profit, but I end up walking away making $60,000. Why would I be pissed off if somebody made $15,000 in that process? It never actually came from my pocket at any point in that transaction. So what happens a lot of times is people feel like, oh, well, what value do I provide? Guys, people that are fixing and flipping don't use their own money. They're paying your fee with a hard money loan, or they're paying your fee with a private money lender. They're not actually giving you 15 grand out of their pocket. It's coming from their lender. Okay. So it's interesting to me that people go, well, why wouldn't they just go around you? One, you'll learn by day 2 or day 3 how it's physically impossible for them to go around you. They don't know where the deal came from. How would they know where the deal came from? How do they know where you sourced the deal? They have no clue where that deal came from. No clue. There's nothing tying it to them. There's no link. There's nothing that's going back to the wholesaler where you got the deal from. None of that is happening. But then on top of it, you have to understand the fix and flipper or the buy and holder is like, I'm financing literally all of the fees. What do I care that you made 15,000 bucks? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So there are people, they are called daisy chainers. There are daisy chainers in this industry. You will find them in my free Facebook group, right? Creative Finance with Pace Morby. There are daisy chainers in that Facebook group that pretend to be buyers and they're not. Now, are they nefarious? Are they trying to go around you? No, they just think that if they tell you that they're a buyer, you'll pay more attention to them and send you a deal. And there's a lot of those daisy chainers that are lying that they're a buyer that are never going to screw you. They're just not great at communicating and being transparent, which I prefer somebody just be transparent and communicate. Okay. The other thing about a daisy chainer is you're working with 50 wholesalers and 5,000 buyers, and it's a chaotic individual. Birddoggers are literally working with one buyer. That's it. You're not going out and building a buyer's list. You're working with one buyer. Does that make sense, Gabriel?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Jose Reyes says, how do you avoid finder's fee law or broker's law? Guys, wholesaling's been around for 100+ years. The whole broker's fee and all that kind of stuff is the most ridiculous thing on the planet. It is so stupid. Okay. It's been done for years and years and years. In fact, if you look at the Arizona state contract, all we have to do is tell people, hey, I'm wholesaling this deal and I don't have to have a license. State law. I do not have to have a license to broker a deal. I do not. The only people that told you that that is the case is licensed real estate agents that want you to get a license. Your broker told you that. Okay. Your broker told you that, whoever said that in the comment. Okay. All right. Gabriel, any question before I move on?
No, that was it. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Cool. So guys, can we avoid the question going forward of what prevents the person from going around me? Can we all agree that we are done with that question? We are not going back to that. Okay. Can we all agree? Can we all agree that we are not going back to the question of, hey, what prevents the person from going around you? Cool. That is a question that will come up so many times. It is ridiculous now that you know the answer. The answer has been given to you, so we can move on and go into the actual, well, this is all part of the training, okay? Cool. All right. So here we go. Step number one is you start with one buyer. Bird doggers don't work with 25 buyers. We work with one buyer. Why? Because bird dogging is the simplest way to get into real estate. It removes every single fear. You don't have to know how to comp. You don't have to know how to do paperwork. You don't have to know what the value of the property is. You don't need to raise money. You don't need to find a buyer for the deal because you found a buyer and then you go find a deal. It is not wholesaling. Wholesaling, you find the deal and then you find the buyer. Bird dogging is you find the buyer and then you go and search for that specific buyer. So let's go back to the analogy. Let's go back to the analogy of Instacart or DoorDash. Does a DoorDash person go to Walmart, buy a bunch of eggs, and then just drive around the neighborhood going, hey guys, I got a bunch of eggs. Who wants to buy the eggs? Or does the DoorDash person actually wait for the order to come in and actually go and fulfill that order based on what was asked for by that buyer? Okay. Does this make sense, everybody? I, as the bird dog, am not going and finding deals that my buyer did not specifically ask for. I'm going to say that again because it's another one of those things that come up all the time. In fact, Maddie, a story I'm going to tell you guys, the homeless lady I helped get off the streets, she's not quite off the streets. She's still in a shelter, but I helped her get her first deal. She constantly is sending me deals that are not deals I want to buy. She's breaking every rule of bird dogging. She breaks every rule of bird dogging. She tries to overcomplicate it. Even though she's gotten a deal, she still tries to overcomplicate it over and over and over and over. I'm like, why are you sending me a deal in Omaha? Why are you sending me a multifamily deal in Indiana? That's not what I ordered. So that'd be like a DoorDash person showing up to your house. Like, let's say Thursday morning, you order eggs on Instacart. The eggs show up. Your bird dog did their job. They went and found the eggs for you. They brought the eggs. They made a fee. That's called bird dogging. You, the buyer, told the bird dog what you're looking for. The bird dog went and found it. They made a fee. That's bird dogging. Pretty simple. Would it make sense for that bird dog? Let's say Instacart, they show up the next day and they go, hey, I got 2 gallons of milk for you. I didn't order those gallons of milk. Does that make any sense? That makes no sense whatsoever. And so where Maddie, my homeless friend, has gone off the deep end a couple of times is that she shows up with milk on my door and goes, hi, you didn't order these, but here, these are deals. Maddie, I don't need milk right now. I just bought eggs from you. Like, I'll let you know when I need more eggs. Is this making sense? Okay. Why am I a good communicator, guys? Is because I wish somebody spoke to me this way in basic English, fast, and got to the point, used stories so that I can understand what the heck this business looks like. Okay. So if you are a bird dog, you are waiting for your buyer to say, I need this, go find it for me. Okay. Now, what I really wanted Maddie to do was I said, Maddie, focus on me as a buyer until you get your first deal. Then after you get your first deal, you can move on to multiple buyers. But the biggest problem, please write this down for my note takers. The biggest problem that a newbie will face in bird dogging is in the beginning, their buyer will say no multiple times to the deals that are being sent to them. Well, Pace, hold on. You're talking about deals being sent to them, and I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Guys, I promise you, I will not leave any of this stuff out. I will show you where these deals come from. I will show you how to find these deals. I will show you what to do. Okay. So what will happen is my bird dogs will bring me deals that I'm like, no, 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 no. And then my bird dogs get frustrated. So they then go and find 5 other people like me and they start sending deals all over the place. And now they're in this chaotic thing. And guess what the poor man's word they use? By the way, poor people use the word, I'm going to hurt some feelings today. Poor people use the word overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. No, you broke rules. You did not follow instructions. That's what overwhelm means, is I did the thing I wasn't supposed to do. If you are a poor person, you use the word overwhelmed. It's a poor man's mindset because you're not being honest. Okay. You're not telling the truth, which is I broke the rules. I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't being patient. I could not wait Meanwhile, I could go to my 9-to-5 job for 20 years that I freaking hate, but I could not wait for 2 days for my buyer to reply to me. And so I went and found 5 more buyers, and now those buyers all have different buy boxes, and I'm confused. Another poor man's word. Okay. Poor man's word is I'm overwhelmed. I'm confused. No, you're not. You have no patience and you didn't follow instructions. Okay. So what happens a lot of times is that people trying to overcomplicate this. It's way simple. Okay. So here's where the deals come from. Okay. The deals, my friends, come from wholesalers. People like, let's see, I'll pull up Ernest's text message. Okay. All right. I've got the buyer list. So Robbie just gave it to me. That's pretty awesome. Got a lot of text messages. I'm catching up on stuff. I was on the river today, so I'm a couple hundred text messages behind. Okay, here we go. So here's what a bird dog is. This is Bird Dog. Ernest is actually a bird dog. He sends me these deals. Okay. Hold on a second. My Zoom is funky. I have to go between 2 different screens. So thank you for your guys' patience. Where are these addresses coming from? They're coming from wholesalers. The people that are out in the streets, people I've taught, right? Students of mine, people that are out there knocking doors, sending letters, going into appointments, negotiating with sellers, bring those contracts to Ernest. Okay. Christopher says, for me, there you go. So Ernest is just sending me anything in Arizona. Am I buying anything in Arizona, or is Ernest asking for me to say no a lot more times than I should be? I'm not buying everything in Arizona. It's not in my buy box. I did not tell Ernest. I told Ernest, I don't want 55 plus. I don't want $1 million homes. I don't want these cities. I don't want these things. But what Ernest does is he breaks the next rule, which is he just sends anything and everything that's somewhat close to my buy box. So then what happens is he gets super frustrated. And then he goes and finds 25 buyers, hoping that one of those, and he just overcomplicates the business. Can you guys see how fast you can overcomplicate the business? It's like your buyer, I buy a deal every couple of weeks. Okay. You don't need 50 buyers. You don't need 25 buyers. You need 1 in the beginning. Please pay attention to this and write this down. If you have not ever done a deal, you need 1 buyer and 1 buyer only. You need 1 buyer and 1 buyer only. What happens is a lot of people will come to me. I'll be on a Q&A, possibly today, and somebody go, well, Pace, none of my buyers want to buy my deals, and I'm having a hard time. I'm like, none of your buyers? How many deals have you done in your lifetime? Oh, I've never done a deal before. Awesome. Awesome. So think about it this way. This might be a good analogy, not a good analogy. I'm going to try this one out. This just came to my mind. If I'm looking to get married, right, get that deal, I'm looking to get married and build a family and a future with somebody. Should I start out by dating 7 people simultaneously where I can't give my undivided attention to any one of those 7 women? Is that what I should be doing? Yes or no? Okay. That's the problem that a lot of people will do is they'll overcomplicate their life. The goal is to get married. The goal is to have a significant relationship. The goal is to be monogamous and build a future with that person. Yet you want to go and date 7 people simultaneously. And you're wondering, well, none of these people want to marry me. Well, probably because you accidentally called Ashley Stephanie and you didn't remember Stephanie's favorite color was purple. You actually said, oh, Stephanie, I could have sworn the other night at dinner. Stephanie said, we didn't have dinner the other night. Now you just look like an idiot because you're playing multiple people. We all understand this. If you haven't done a deal, you stick with one person. You can understand their buy box. They give you positive feedback. That's what I do as a buyer. When people bring me opportunities that is in my buy box, if you send me something outside of my buy box, guess what we're going to do? I'm not even going to reply to you. I feel like it's a good response is not giving you a response. If you send me something in Ohio and I told you multiple times I'm buying in Arizona, do you think it's probably appropriate and it's not disrespectful for me to just go, why would I reply to that? I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Do you guys think that's disrespectful or just a good way to educate? Okay. I'm not being disrespectful. In fact, I found years and years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago, as I replied to Bird Dogs, oh, thank you so much for sending me that deal. It's not in my buy box. And I would spend all my time and energy away from other people sending me deals that were sending them into my buy box. I'm pouring energy into this person there. Oh, I got a little treat. Pace said, thank you for sending this over. So I'm going to start sending him more Omaha, Nebraska stuff that he'll never freaking buy. So my team just has a process. We've learned the lesson for 10 years. We've learned the lesson. If you send me something that's outside of my buy box, guess what you get? 0 response. So if somebody's ever sent my team an email and they go, Pace, I didn't get a response. I already know why you didn't get a response. It's because you broke a rule. Okay. This is great. Shalisa, I think is your name. It's a good name. I don't think I've ever heard that name. Shalisa. Let me pull you up real fast. This is great. Shalise, is it Shalise? Shalisa.
Hi, Pace.
Hi, how you doing?
Great. You?
Did I mess up your name?
No, you got it right, surprisingly.
All right.
Great.
Okay, cool. Great question. So can you re-ask it for everybody else, please?
How often should we hear back from the one buyer?
Okay, cool. So this is a great question. Shalisa, right?
Yes.
Shalisa, have you ever dated before?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody where you didn't have great communication either from you or the other party?
Yes.
Have you ever been in a relationship where you did have good communication from you or the other party and it was a better relationship than the other one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're all adults. We know how to set up upfront expectations. Okay. So for example, when I met my wife 16 years ago, first date we went on, I said, I want to get married and I want to have kids. If you're not serious about having kids and building a family, don't go on a second date with me. I'll give you a hug at the end of the night. I'm not even going to try and kiss you. I am dead serious about being a husband, a father, a monogamous man, and I am only dating to get married. That's a pretty good upfront expectation, right?
Yes.
Cool. Don't you wish everybody was like that?
I do.
Okay, cool. So then some of the other things I said is I said, here's what you're going to not like about me. And this might not be good. I love to work. I was born to work. I love to help people. I have an addiction to helping people. This is before I was even in real estate 16 years ago. I said, if you have a jealous bone in your body and watching me pour my energy into other people, I'm not a good person to go on a second date with. I love helping people. And you're going to wonder why. Why is he spending so much time and energy helping all these people? Why is he doing X, Y, and Z? Literally, this is the first date I ever had with my wife. So before we went on a second date, guess what my wife has never been? My wife has never been jealous of any time where I spend my time. She's never worried about X, Y, and Z. My wife knew immediately we were going to do X, Y, and Z. My wife knew I wanted children. Well, guess what? I'm in a 16-year relationship. We rarely fight. Of course, once or twice a year, I do something stupid. I have to apologize. I didn't communicate properly. But we can agree that these conversations are all set up with an upfront conversation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I say all of that to give you an answer to your question. When I pick a bird dog, because guys, can we all agree that you are going to select your bird dog? I'm sorry, not your bird dog. You are the bird dog. You are going to select your buyer, and you might have to interview 2 or 3 of them. Okay. Shalisa, you would imagine probably I'd be a pretty good person to probably do bird dogging for because I communicate and I like doing this business and I love helping people. I'd be a pretty good person to do bird dogging for, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sadly, if you brought a deal to me, you would not be communicating with me ever. And I tell that to bird dogs. I go, I have a team. I don't look at the deals. My team makes those conversations independent of me. I find out we do a deal 2 weeks after we bought the deal. And I'm like, what the heck? Where'd the deal come from? And they're like, well, it came from an email. It came from one of your students. We bought the deal and there's a system and a process. So some people want to bird dog with me because they want to build a relationship with me. And they find out my first conversation, I'm not going to build a relationship with you by selling me deals until after we meet at the property and I already own the house. And they go, man, I really want you to personally tell me what I'm doing well and what I'm not doing well. And I go, I got a business and I'm a little bit more scaled. And so people have to make that determination. How many people that would derail you from sending me a deal? And be honest. You will never get coached by me. How many people see? There you go. Some people are like, not at all. No. Some people saying yes. Okay. So can we all agree that you guys are going to have to make a determination on a personal level if you really vibe with this person that you're going to be sending opportunities to? Shalisa, can we agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now one of the things I'm going to be training you guys on tomorrow, I'm going to give you a script on how to communicate with these buyers because I'm giving you a list of buyers tonight. Okay, as we wrap up. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys some other cool things, contracts and stuff that we'll go through on day 3. But tomorrow, I'm actually going to call some buyers and I'll show you guys the scripting and the upfront conversations we're going to have with buyers to be able to say, hi, my name is Pace. I'm brand new to this business and I want to find a deal for you. It's obvious that you're buying deals. Do you mind if I send you stuff? What's better, text, email? And they'll tell you. And you go, hey, look, because I'm new to the business, do you mind if you give me some feedback on why that was a good deal or not a good deal? And if they say, I don't have time for that, Shalisa, based on what you need in your life and where you currently are in your career, obviously just starting out and trying to get your first deal, would you say that's a good fit for you or not a good fit for you? If they say, I'm not going to reply, I'm just going to, if I like it, I'll say yes. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to reply.
That's not a good fit for me.
There you go. Does it mean that's a bad person?
No, they just don't
no.
work for me.
Right. And you've been on dates before, right? Where you're like, immediately no. And you've been on dates probably before you're like, Then you've been on dates with people who are like, wow, this is amazing. Then you find out they're a turd later. Then you've been on dates with people that have lasted a long time. All 4 of those have happened in your life, I imagine, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's going to be the same thing with buyers. Okay. Jamil has buyers. My best friend, Jamil, who's on my TV show with me. Jamil has buyers I don't want to do business with. I don't like the way they operate. I like the way they communicate. Jamil does, though. He's Canadian. They're freaking weird. Canadians do weird things and they communicate weirdly. I'm kidding. He's my best friend. He's Canadian. So that tells you something, right? So, but I have buyers that Jamil doesn't do deals with because I have a personal connection with them. I like the way they do business. And I'll give you a very specific answer. I wake up. How many people in here have kids? Shalisa, you have kids?
Yes.
Okay. The best time to get anything done is when they're not awake, right?
Correct.
It's like the second they're awake, they suck the whole energy out of everything, right?
That's it.
But I mean, the best possible thing. I gave all 4 of my kids a hug and a kiss before I came up here. I love being around my kids. No shade on them. But I wake up, if you look at my morning calendar, I wake up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, every single morning. And I'm communicating, doing my job until about 7 a.m. What happens at 7 a.m. is those little tyrants, those little hellions, they all start waking up. And guess what I want to do? I want to give them attention because I love them so much. Well, if my personality is an early morning personality, shouldn't I be picking people to collaborate with that will communicate back to me during that time frame?
Yes.
Okay, because what happens, and we all have these relationships in our life, is that I send somebody a text early in the morning, then they reply to me late in the afternoon because that's their personality and their communication style. And what happens is we just missed a whole entire day because we did not sync up at that time, correct?
Correct.
Okay, good example. When I was starting out in business, I hired a bookkeeper that lived in my town. And what ended up happening is I would send her a text, same thing would happen. She wouldn't reply until later in the afternoon when she caught up with her messages. I very quickly learned, I went to this mastermind. I spent like $25,000 to be in this mastermind. By the way, guys, masterminds they'll change your life. I meet a guy that's like, dude, just do time zone hacking. I'm like, what's time zone hacking? I didn't know what that meant. Not like I grew up in a family or learned this from school. He says, you live on the West Coast, hire somebody on the East Coast. They're up 3 hours earlier than anybody else. So 5 a.m. your time is 8 a.m. their time. 6 a.m. their time is 9 a.m. there. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. So let me show you something. I'll give you a really good example. By the way, is this helping answer the question? I know it seems like it's not, but is this answering the question for everybody?
Absolutely.
Okay. People will go, how do I select a buyer? And you're going to set yourself up for a lot of, I would say being let down if you don't understand what I'm teaching you right now. So I've got my bookkeeper. Her name is Tony Counts. I know that's a really funny name because her last name is Counts. I swear to you, she did not do that on purpose. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm going to pull up a text message and I'm going to show you a text message that did not get replied to. Okay. from on my side. I did not reply to her. Why? Because let's see here. Sorry, guys. I just want to show you guys that hopefully this is like the way you guys prefer to be taught. So check this out. Tony Counts. Okay. She sent me a text the other day early in the morning and I replied. Obviously you can see my reply here. Walmart's grocery order for a big meetup. I spent like $1,500 for a meetup and bought a bunch of stuff and had people meet at my Montana house. Had a big bonfire. It was cool. She then says, hey, here's your housekeeper, your housekeeper, blah, blah, blah. I liked the message. She randomly got my attention today at 12:25 p.m. She then says, can you send me the Amex code? I'm trying to reconnect it to QuickBooks. What time was that at?
6:49 p.m.
Guess what I was doing? Hanging with you guys. She literally sends me a text message while I'm doing this. So I won't be able to reply until tomorrow morning. Well, guess what? If she's waiting for an Amex code and I need to be giving it to her within 5 or 10 minutes, well, otherwise that code goes bad, is 6:49 a good time to text me? No. And she knows that. And I have a good relationship with Tony. So she will randomly, I shot it out there just to see if you could reply. But guess what Tony knows? She knows if she didn't get a reply from me randomly in the middle of the day, what time is the best time to send Pace Morby a text message? 4 to 7 a.m. in the morning. Okay. So she won't get the Amex code until tomorrow. Cool. So the way, the time, the cadence, the personality, all of those types of things, you are going to need to interview multiple buyers until you find the person who goes, hell yeah, I would love to give you feedback. Hell yeah, I'd love to give you a reply. Yes, I think I can usually reply within 6 to 12 hours. Are you cool with that? And you're going to have to make that determination of who you hunker down with and who you commit to. I'm going to give you 15,000 people. Those 15,000 people, where do you live?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Sweet. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take that list and you're going to go and identify the people that are in Cleveland, Ohio. I've organized it for you. I've done the hard thing for you. I've spent the $4,000 getting all of those people's phone numbers. We skip trace them. You could just text them.
We appreciate you for that.
Well, I want you to do deals, right? So I'll give you those people's information and I'll show you how to reach out to them tomorrow. We can text some of them, but here's the reality. And I'll show you this tomorrow. How to do this, how to have the upfront expectation and conversation and all of those upfront agreements. But you are going to have to make that determination. And that is going to be probably the hardest part of this whole process. Truly, everything I'm going to teach you guys this week, you don't need to worry about comping. You don't need to worry about paperwork. You don't need to worry about what the value of the property is or how to negotiate or how to contract. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Birddogging truly is the simplest way to get your first, second, third, or fourth deal. I'll show you the bad sides of birddogging tomorrow when we first start out, but it is truly the simplest thing. The hardest part is in the very beginning, you determining whether that buyer is the buyer you want to invest with. Just like dating, it's hard, right? You're sitting there interviewing them, you're talking to them, you're having dinner, you find out they're lactose intolerant. You really love cheese. You're like, I can't live my life with a lactose intolerant person. I love cheese too much. Next, right? You're going to have some of those conversations. And I would say that you're probably going to have to interview 5 to 7 buyers before you go, this is the buyer I freaking love. Okay.
Yes.
Did you ever, when you were in high school or like elementary, did you have a big group of friends, like 3, 4, 5, 6 people that were all like a bunch of girls that hung out with each other?
No.
No. Well, then my analogy won't work. You didn't have any friends?
I had 1 or 2.
Okay, cool. But you had acquaintances, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's obvious that the 1 or 2 people resonated with you. It's not like you only had 1 or 2 people in your class.
Correct.
You just vibrated with those people a little bit differently, right?
Yes.
And it wasn't a weird thing. You just vibrated with those people differently. And it's just kind of the natural order of things kind of settled in. And within this couple of days of the school year, these were your people. And those were people that were in the room with you and your people, right?
Yes.
It's going to be the same thing. And it's going to be very similar. And you're like, oh man, this person's all right. This is cool. Let me interview another person. I'll give you a good example of this very specifically with buyers. I'll call a buyer tomorrow. Okay. I'll show you guys how to do it. And they'll hang up on me. I'll get somebody who's like, ugh, I don't know who you are, click, and they'll hang up. That's pretty obvious. Then I'll call somebody tomorrow and they'll be like, yeah, we're buying. Yeah, we're buying. Yeah, well, yeah, send me stuff. Yeah. Send me stuff. Then I'll call another person and they'll be like, oh my gosh, dude, we just sold a deal a couple of days ago. I'm on the hunt for looking for my next deal. Man, I'm only buying like 3 deals a year right now, but I definitely want to buy a deal from you. I just want to give you that expectation. I'm only buying like 2 more deals for the rest of the year. Then I'll talk to another person. That person's like, dude, we're buying a deal every other week. I can't get my hands on enough deals. I would love that. And yes, I do have time for feedback for you. Man, thank you how'd you get my number? This is so cool that you called me. Thank you so much. Who am I going with out of all those people?
The people who's doing the most deals that you have vibrated with.
Yeah. And the person's like super friendly and lovable and all of those kind of things, right?
Yes.
Cool. Have I given a good enough, like deep enough answer on this? And of course, I'll show you tomorrow. I won't just tell you, I'll show you tomorrow, but was that helpful?
Absolutely.
Any other question before I move on?
No. Oh, somebody in the chat asked, what time do you go to bed? For you to start your day at 3 o'clock, I'm interested in that too.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you guys an answer you don't want to hear. I don't need a lot of sleep. I have like a biological amazing thing about me. I went to bed last night at 11. I woke up this morning at 4, so I got 5 hours of sleep. I'm like a super dude. It's freaking 7:40 at night, and I'm like have all the energy. I went fishing. I was in the sun for 5 hours with 20 of my students. I came home, loved on my kids, did a whole bunch of stuff, and now I'm on a thing with you. I'm drinking water that's like liquid, that liquid IV powder that's like no sugar.
Yes.
That's what I'm drinking. I'm not drinking a Monster or any energy drink. I was drinking this beforehand. It's like the ice thing, no sugar, no calories, whatever. I just have a biological ability to not need as much sleep as other people.
Got it.
That's it. And that's what my doctor says. That's what I found out. But you know what I think it really is? Every day since I quit being a contractor feels like a vacation.
And you wake up with purpose.
I wake up with purpose. And like, think about this. Have you ever met somebody that's been in my community? It's like, Pace has changed my life. Have you ever heard anybody ever say that?
Yes.
Okay. I get that text message 40 times a day. Pace, you changed my life. Pace, I met my wife because of you. Pace, my son has just got his first deal. 40, 50 text messages a day. I have 31,000 collective students. I've helped over 20,000 people quit their jobs. I am living the greatest life on the planet. So when you have that purpose and then you understand what life is all about, oh my gosh, I have a hard time wanting to go to bed. And then I get to watch my kids are in the world with me. My best friends are doing deals. Everybody's making money. It is the coolest thing on the planet. I am so grateful. And the reason why I teach and I do like a live training once a month for like 4 days. What I love about my life is same thing with you. You ever found a restaurant you like desperately loved and you just want to share it with everybody?
I do.
That's real estate for me, dude. I'm just like, oh my God, how are you not eating this burrito down the road? This burrito is the greatest burrito on the planet.
Got it.
So, you want to hear my favorite quote?
Sure.
Sure or yes?
Yes.
Okay. This will kind of tell you how I feel like I live my life. It's the quote that our community, the SubTo community, lives by. I got to pull it up. It's a longer quote, but it's a phenomenal one. It's by George Bernard Shaw, and it is "The True Joy of Life" is the name of the quote. Okay, you ready for this one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the side. I'll pull it up on the screen so we can all just read it. You guys can see it, and I'll give you guys the link to it as well, so you can go pull it up. But this is why I love to teach. This is why I love to work. This is why, like, I'm nothing but a tool. That's all I am. I'm a tool to help other people. And guess what tools don't like? We don't like being in the shed. I like to be used. I like to be beat up. I like to be used for a purpose. I do not want to be sitting around wasting my life without purpose. And I think you're probably the exact same way. So you understand what I'm talking about. So this quote.
Joshua Jones gave it to us in the chat.
Yeah, I love Joshua Jones. He's a great dude. So here's the quote. This is the true joy in life, being used for a purpose, recognized by yourself as a mighty one. being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I'm of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community. And as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it what I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life for me is no brief candle to me. It is sort of a splendid torch, which I have got to hold for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. When I read that quote, I was like, that's how I feel about my life every single minute. Oh my gosh. And so I work so hard and I love all of these things. I wake up in the morning. I don't roll out of bed. I jump out of bed. I'm excited about hanging out with people. Like think about my weird day, dude. 3 hours of work this morning, kissed on the kids, went out on the river, went fly fishing with 20 people that have never fly fished before. And I'm like, let's do new experiences and new things. We talked about real estate. I invited them to my home in Montana. My wife made them lunch. I broke away. I had 2 meetings. I then went upstairs and I started teaching you guys. I'll go back downstairs. I'll get with my kids and I'll go on the lake for 2 hours before 11 o'clock hits. And I get to do that all over. I honestly could die tomorrow and be like, yesterday was the best day of my life. So,
Got it.
for those of you guys that are having a hard time with sleep, you're probably having a harder time with purpose and feeling like, man, do I really want to get up? Do I really want to do this thing? What's so cool, and I'll teach you guys this tomorrow. Can I tell you one of the bad things I hate about bird dogging before I even wrap up for the day?
Sure. Yes.
The worst part about bird dogging for my personality is I'm not directly negotiating and getting the house under contract. I love and I'm obsessed with that part of the business. I love meeting the seller, overcoming their objections. I love meeting the seller and helping them onto the next chapter of their life. I love making sure that the agent gets paid. I love building those relationships. And guess who does not get to do that in this business is the bird dog.
Bird dog.
Right. And so it's super distilled. It's super simple. It's a way to get a deal. And it's nice to get a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 check. But guess what? I missed out. I missed out on the greatest part of the business. And so I don't do bird dogging that often. I will do maybe 2 bird dogs a year on big assets that I can't buy, that I'm not really at that level yet. But man, I miss out on the greatest part of the business, which is that part I just described. So bird dogging is not a forever part of the business. You need to upgrade and you need to start choosing another path in order to make larger checks and all of those types of things. But bird dogging is one of the greatest ways to get your first deal. Okay. So there's somebody asking questions like, they can't wait. How many people are having a hard time sitting through an hour and 45 minutes? Where can we find your list of 15,000 buyers? Ariel, how many people are patient today and you can actually hang with me until the next 20 minutes for me to give you that list? It is. And also, how many people were here when I played the video of the guy that couldn't pour himself coffee? Shalisa, were you here for that?
Yes.
Okay. So what's so funny? Okay. Check this out.
Because I'm thinking Ariel probably came in late.
I know it's so funny because those people came in late. Here's what's interesting. I can give people the coffee, right? I can lay it all out for them. I can train them, show you what's possible. I can bring in training and like actually do the work and show you. And then when it comes time for them to actually do the work, they won't do it. They're so impatient. They think that the resource is what they need. I'll give you the resource. But if you're that impatient, you're going to have a really hard time tomorrow because you're going to have the resource I promised you today. And you then are going to go, okay, well, what do I do with this resource? And if you're impatient, you're going to have a hard time sitting through an hour and a half of me calling buyers tomorrow. Please pay attention to me. Is tomorrow, if I'm calling buyers that don't know I'm calling, are there going to be a lot of downtimes and boring times where I'm not talking and you are going to be bored watching me not talking to somebody? Is that going to happen tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes. And that needs to be an expectation, my friends. That needs to be an expectation in this business. Is there's a lot of downtime when you're first starting. You go, man, I got this amazing list that Pace literally spent $4,000 on for me. I got a $4,000 value. This freaking guy gave me this incredible resource. But then you're going to sit looking at this resource I gave you because you won't be patient tomorrow and you won't watch me actually do the business tomorrow. And you thought the resource is what you need. My friends, the boring stuff that I'm going to teach you tomorrow is what you need to change your life. Please be patient. Please, please, please be patient. It will change your life forever. Okay. Shalisa, you asked a great question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So with birddogging, what's so cool about birddogging, I mean, obviously there's a downfall to birddogging, and we'll talk about those tomorrow, but what's so fun about birddogging is, do I need to go and cold call? Ooh, that's really big. Do I need to cold call at all? Anybody? Yes or no? Do I need to spend money on leads? Do I need to negotiate? Do I need to, let's say, do follow-up? Do I have to comp properties? Do I have to underwrite properties? Do I have to go borrow money and raise capital? Do I have to manage contractors? Okay. Name a fear that you would have in this regular real estate business. And I can tell you that 100% of all of these fears, okay, 100% of all of these fears all get eliminated. Okay. They all get eliminated. You do not need, now somebody's going to go, well, you're cold calling buyers. No, guys, are you kidding me? If somebody is actively buying deals, okay, they're actively buying deals. Here's a good question. Let's differentiate for Matthew Lappish says, turn off the chat. Matthew, you can leave the Zoom anytime you want. Okay. So let's think about this for a second. If somebody's in foreclosure, they're losing their house because they're behind on payments. Are we 100% sure that they are trying to sell their house? Yes or no? Are we 100% sure they're trying to sell their house? Yes or no? Okay. It's funny that some people are saying yes. That's crazy. No, you're not 100% sure they're trying to sell their house. A lot of people they lost their job. They're trying to get another job and catch up on their payments. Just because they're in foreclosure doesn't mean they are trying to sell their house. Okay. That's crazy. A lot of times people go into foreclosure and they go to the bank and they renegotiate and they do what's called a loan modification. They do not want to leave their house. I would even say to you that 80% of people in foreclosure do not want to sell their house. Not only are they not looking to sell their house, if you call them, they're like, no, I'm not selling my house. That is cold calling. Because I'm calling somebody that I do not know needs the thing that I am calling about. That is cold calling. Does that make sense? Can we say yes in the side chat? You now know what cold calling is. Perfect. Warm calling is when you know the person you're calling will be excited that you called. Hey, my name is Pace. I'm brand new to the business. Saw you bought this house on 123 Main Street. Want to know if I could bring opportunities to you that you could flip just like that. If I give you a list of 15,000 buyers and we know that they bought at least 20 houses this year, and you're calling and asking them, can I bring you one more house? Do we understand the difference between cold calling and warm calling, my friends? All right. Let's stop saying that bird doggers are cold calling buyers, because you're not cold calling. You are calling somebody that's like, oh, hell yeah, thank you so much. I don't want to do cold calling. I hate cold calling. And when you guys learn how to do cold calling, you'll see I don't actually teach people how to cold call because I hate it. I don't want to do it. I will never call somebody that I don't know doesn't want to talk to me. Okay. Okay. Barack, I'm fearful to call on you because I hope that I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Barack Obama is on our Zoom today, guys. What's up, Barack? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, man.
Awesome. So you have a good question. Your question is, Let's see here. Will you re-ask your question so I don't have to scroll up to it?
Yeah. And my question was, do you need to comp and filter the best deals for the buyer?
Not in the beginning. Okay. This is a great, really, really great question. So you do not, and I do not want people comping. So I'm going to explain a deal to you here to you, and then you can ask me some questions and I'll basically talk as if I'm talking to you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I have a girl. I don't know if she's on here today. Kelly Humbarger. Is Kelly Humbarger on here today? What about contracts? We'll talk. Hey, you D'Artagnan, Three Musketeers name, by the way. That's a cool name. D'Artagnan, we're going to be talking about contracts on day number 3. So stick around for day number 3. I'm going to be giving you guys my contracts. It's about $5,000 worth of contracts. I'll give those to you. Okay. Brian, same thing, says, what about rehab costs? Listen to the story, and then you guys will determine what the answer to your questions are. Sound good? Cool. So I have a girl. Her name is Kelly Humbarger. And Kelly Humbarger joined one of my communities called Top Tier TC. Top Tier TC, a TC is a transaction coordinator. A transaction coordinator, I'm sure you know what that is, but there's at least one person in the side chat that doesn't. A transaction coordinator is somebody that does all the paperwork behind the scenes for people like me. Okay, they handle my onboarding of properties, my insurance. They handle the contract going to the title company. They do all the things behind the scenes that I never want to do. So Kelly Humbarger joins Top Tier TC, which is a portion of our community that helps the SubTo community do all their paperwork. Okay. And she comes to me in January. She says, I want to make more money. How do I make more money than I'm making right now? I said, birddog for me. She says, what's birddogging? And I told her the same thing I told you, which is, Kelly, you go out and you find deals that I want to buy. Okay, so here's Pace right here. Pace wants to buy fix and flips, right? I want to buy 20 projects a year. So I said, Kelly, all you have to do is go and find all the wholesalers in town. And the funny thing is they're all basically all SubTo members. So she went to the SubTo community and she found a gentleman named Matt. Okay. And Kelly, who's right here, Kelly says, so what do I do? And I go, I want you to go to Matt. I want you to go to every other wholesaler in SubTo. And I want you to just get them to copy and paste their addresses to you. Please pay attention to me, Barack, and everybody else. Please, please, please pay attention. That is truly what's happening. Matt will send an address to Kelly, and the address will literally look like this. Let me show, sorry, that's my backyard. Let me show you exactly what this looks like so you guys do not overcomplicate this. I already did a little bit earlier. I showed you Ernest sending me messages and what it looks like, just people sending me addresses. They are literally copying and pasting these from a wholesaler. Wholesaler sends them to let's see, Ernest, there we go. I don't know why Ernest has an Android, but whatever. I promised I'd stop teasing people about Androids, but I just can't help it. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so here we go. Let me pull this up. My Zoom really hates me today. Sorry. All right, so here is what this looks like. And pasting. Ernest, who that is a text thread with Ernest. Ernest is getting all the wholesalers in town and he's just saying, hey guys, I have a buyer. Buyer's me. Hey guys, I have a buyer. Please send me anything that you guys get under contract. Please send it to me. I'm going to present it to my buyer. What is Ernest doing? What is Kelly doing? Kelly, this is what Kelly did. This is what you will do when you bird dog, when you find the right buyer. This will answer your question. Then you'll go to your second question. Kelly then takes that and copies and pastes the same exact thing, not including any sort of markup. Please pay attention. I'm about to get into some math. You guys are going to ask the question, how do I know what my fee should be? Please pay attention. So Matt sends her a price. This is actually a property on Mahogany. I currently have it listed. We've already put $100,000 into it. The property is now already on the market. I'm going to make probably about $80,000 flipping the house. Matt sends it to her for $640,000. She gets it into her cell phone. She then takes that property and sends it to my team at $640,000 and says, I have no markup on that price. Please let me know what you guys think about this house. This is going to answer your question. Did she comp that property? Did she add her price? Did she go and say, hey guys, I looked at this to make sure this was a good deal? Did she do any of that? Yes or no, Brock?
No.
No. My team comped the property, because why do I want a newbie comping a property for me? I definitely don't. I don't respect wholesalers comping properties for me. I will comp my own gosh dang property. Just tell me the price you're thinking you want to sell it to me for, and I will reply back. So we replied back to Kelly. Okay, you following the chain of events here?
Yeah, I mean that answered the question. The fact
I know,
that
but hold on. Let me finish it all the way, because I know there's other. I'm using your question to not answer you. I'm using your question to answer everybody else.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm actually not talking to you, Barack. I'm talking through you, and you are doing me and everybody else a favor. So thank you. So my team then replies to Kelly and says, hey, Kelly, 640 is too high. We will buy it at 600. And if you can get it at 600, we will then pay you $10,000 on top of that. So essentially, I'm buying it for what price, Barack?
610.
There you go. Boom, you got it. Kelly then goes back to Matt and says, hey, my buyer is good at 600 and they will pay my fee on top of that. Are you good at 600? Matt says, yes. Who then does the paperwork in this scenario, Kelly or my team?
You do.
I do. So although I'm going to show you guys how to do the paperwork I'm going to give you guys all the contracts tomorrow afternoon. On day 3, I'll show you how to go through the contracts. Most of your really good quality buyers prefer you not to do the paperwork. Why? Because we know how to do the paperwork. We don't need you messing up the paperwork. Does that make sense? I want you communicating with all the wholesalers. And can I tell you why you're providing value? I've already explained this, but people need it like 5 times. My team's busy flipping houses. My team's not wholesaling. Okay, we're flipping houses, we're buying and wholesaling, or we're buying and holding properties. I'm not busy wholesaling and going out and knocking foreclosures anymore. I did that from 2012 to 2020. I've upgraded to being an investor years ago. Do I still wholesale from time to time? Yeah, usually 1 to 2 deals a month, but I'm not a wholesaler. I'm not in the business of doing follow-up and CRMs and all of these things and cold calling, and I'm not doing that anymore. Please pay attention to me. Everybody, please pay attention to me. This is super important. This is going to go in one ear and out the other. Wholesalers are a fly-by-night industry, which means some wholesalers will be in business for 6 months and they will either quit or they will upgrade out of being a wholesaler into being a flipper or being a buy and holder. So do wholesalers stay wholesalers forever, Barack?
No.
No. So do I have the time as a fix and flipper to constantly keep up to date on who all the wholesalers are? Yes or no?
No.
No. So if a bird dogger, their job is to go to meetups and network and go into the SubTo community, and their job is to keep up to date on who is actively wholesaling, do you see the value that they provide to somebody like me who doesn't have time to do that?
Yeah, that was a great explanation. Does
everybody understand what value a bird dogger brings to people like me? Give me a yes in the side chat if you do now. So people that are still wholesaling are probably teaching wholesaling. Sorry, I teach wholesaling too, but I don't need to wholesale. I did that. Okay. Like I don't need to teach. I don't need to be in kindergarten to teach you how to read. I did that. I learned how to read. I could teach you how to read. Wholesaling is a gateway drug into the business of real estate. It's not meant to be a forever business unless you are teaching. Okay. The actual thing that you need, you will never retire from wholesaling. Write that down. You will never, ever, ever, ever retire from wholesaling. You will never tell me one wholesaler that's retired wealthy from wholesaling. Not one person in the industry you'll ever be able to tell me that. Okay. Why is that? Because real wealth is built with buying and holding a portfolio and growing it and getting the appreciation and the tax benefits and the cash flow. But in the beginning, why people wholesale is because they want active income. Okay, same thing with bird dogging. Bird dogging is active income as well. But wholesalers don't stick in the game for a long time, right? I'd say the average wholesaler's in the game for probably a year to 2 years, and then they upgrade and they start raising money and doing their bigger deals and doing developments and raising capital and doing a syndication and doing all of those types of things, which is what I teach people to evolve through. If you ever ask, Pace, what do you teach people to do? I teach people to do what I did. I start in the beginning basis of where I'm at, and I show people how to scale into the future businesses. Wholesale is not a forever business, okay? So wholesalers are constantly evolving. And so the value that Kelly brings to me is constantly staying on top of like who's active, who's not active, and she's networking, okay? Her job is to bring those wholesalers deals to me. I don't want to keep up to date on them. I don't want to keep up to date on who's active and not active. I just want her to send deals to my team, me give her feedback. She gets the feedback. And then what ultimately happens even with Kelly is, what do you think happens with Kelly? Do you think Kelly's going to be a bird dog for that long? No. The longest time that anybody has ever bird dog for me was 5 deals. It's the longest I've ever seen. The average person bird dogs 2 deals to me. And then what they do is they go get 2 or 3 other buyers. Then they go, oh man, I know how to do this. I got cash in the bank. I'm going to start wholesaling. Oh man, I'm going to go fix and flip. Oh my, I can get my first rental. And ultimately, you will not be a bird dog forever either. Are we all okay with that, guys? Are we all okay with not being a bird dog forever? Cool. So no, I as the buyer, Barack, great question. Are there buyers out there that will go, dude, you didn't even comp this, like F you? Will there be buyers like that?
Yeah. So the question arose, or I thought of this question because I've been looking at a lot of deals and the ARV just isn't correct, which is why I was like, if I'm going to be sending this to my buyer, I don't want to send him incorrect info and mislead.
Okay, so you're talking more about the buy box, not the price. Okay. So the price is very different than the buy box. Okay. The buy box is like, I don't want to be on busy streets and have power lines in the back of my house. I want to be in Tempe, Maricopa, blah, blah, blah. What people are doing is very obvious. You do not need to be educated on when I say, hey, please send me stuff in Tampa, Florida, and you send me something in Omaha, Nebraska. Do you need me to educate you on that? No, you don't. That's like insanely crazy that people do that. But when I tell you people overcomplicate bird dogging, that's what I mean. And I've done a lot of one-on-ones with people that go, Pace, I've sent, and I'm going to give you guys a couple of fun stories here, Barack. And do you mind if I keep picking on you a little bit?
No, go for it.
Okay, cool. So how many addresses did Kelly send me before she got her first deal?
10.
She sent me 8. Really good guess. Okay. She sent me 8, which is actually very, very, very low. Okay. That's impressive. She sent me 8. So here's how this works. Okay. The first house she sends me, we say no, but. And what do I mean by that? I say, no, we don't like the price you sent it to us at, but we would buy it at that price. Okay. Make sense?
Yeah.
Same thing. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7. We said no, but we'll buy it at this price every single time. So we gave her feedback on every one of those. The price was not her problem. Okay. She was very smart. Why was her number so low? Why did she get her deal on her 8th deal? Why?
Buy box was on point.
She had the buy box. She wasn't sending me stuff in Omaha, freaking Nebraska. That is so, guys, does anybody in here need to have a lesson on geography? Like if my buy box is Tempe, Arizona, you don't need to be sending me stuff in Scottsdale, Arizona. Does anybody need that? Okay. If you did, we all should call your mom right now and we should yell at her, or maybe not yell at her. Just tell her that we're disappointed in you. Okay. So she was really good about that. So she's sending me stuff that's in my buy box, like my area, my house size, all of that type of stuff. The price is not important to me because I'm going to give her the price I would buy it at regardless. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to give her feedback on the price. It's always too high, by the way. Like literally, like almost 100% of the deals we've ever bought, I had to come back and go, that's too high of a price, but I would buy it at this. Like I would probably venture to say 95% of the time we're giving feedback. Then the bird dog has to go back to the wholesaler and goes, hey, my buyer likes it, but they need it at this price. Okay. That's like 95% of the time. So, then Dajé, I have another girl that I might even bring her on here tomorrow so you guys can see her, but Dajé, she sent me a deal. She got her first deal. This was a couple of months ago. Dajé got her first deal in 6 houses. She sent me 6 houses. We said no, but to how many, Barack?
5.
5. Okay. Now, Maddie, have you been following the homeless lady that I helped?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you know how many houses Maddie sent me?
No.
47. Why was it so much higher?
She didn't follow the rules.
She got shiny object syndrome. Actually, there's actually 2 reasons why. Okay. The first reason why I love Maddie, she's honestly like one of the most, no, it has nothing to do with the base knowledge, Callie. Nothing to do with base knowledge. The first reason why she sent more than the average, by the way, my average amount of houses I need to see before I give you a yes is 30. Can we all write that down, please? My average, now your buyer is going to be a little bit different, but the average I have is 30. Okay. Maddie was 47, I believe. And the number one reason why is because she has a crappy phone. What does that have to do with anything, Pace? Well, here's what it has to do with. There were times, sorry guys, I keep pushing the wrong button. There were times where she sent deals to my team that we said yes to, but by the time she got the freaking message, which she has a government issued phone that's completely shattered. It's an Obama issued phone. Back in Obama days, Obama did this cool thing where he made sure that the government would give people free phones. Okay. And she still has one of these phones, but it's smashed and shattered and you push it. It's so bad. It's so bad. There were houses I said yes to, but by the time she received the message and then went back to the wholesaler and said, hey, I want this deal. My buyer's good. Those deals were already what?
Taken
and sold, right? So timing is what screwed up her number. That was the first thing, her phone and her timing. The second thing, and Maddie might be on YouTube right now. She probably is actually. She asked me to make sure I was streaming on YouTube today because check this out. Guys, I want to just point something out to everybody on here. A woman who is currently on my YouTube live stream, I would not have streamed on YouTube if it wasn't for Maddie today. A lady that is homeless currently, she's in a women's shelter right now, is on YouTube live watching this training. Okay. She got her first deal. The reason why I'm streaming on YouTube live, do you know why? Is because her government issued phone will not even let her get on Zoom. That's the resources she has. No base knowledge, no license, no money, no experience in real estate whatsoever. And she still got her first deal doing bird dogging. Okay. Do not give me this crap of people like, oh, base knowledge, dude. Literally, this is a 59-year-old black woman. Okay. I'm not being racial. Well, actually, I'm being racial. Not being racist, but I'm being racial. We can all agree that typically I have a little bit easier life. A white male in America, grown up in a family in a semi-affluent neighborhood. I have more leg ups than a woman who grew up in Connecticut with a bad background. Do we all agree with that? She started at 59, real estate at 59. She grew up in a black background. She's gone through multiple divorces. She's been on the streets for 4 years. She has way more disadvantages than anybody in here. I can guarantee it right now. There's always somebody that thinks they have it worse. There's always a victim. I have it worse. I have 3 kids. You don't know how hard it is to be a single mom. Okay. I want to let you guys know, hopefully maybe one of you guys could be one of these people, but I'm going to be actually, the next person I'm going to help is actually a single mom with 3 kids. Cause I had this lady DM me. She says, you have no idea how hard it is to be a single mom with 3 kids. You keep saying Maddie has it worse off than anybody else. I promise you have it worse off than you or worse off than Maddie. I'm like, okay. I'm going to take on in probably October or November this year. I'm going to take in like 500 applications of single moms with at least 3 kids, no other income other than their own. And we're going to do a raffle, and I'm going to help that person get their first deal. Guess what it's going to be? It's going to be a bird dog deal. Okay. Okay. Eva Ortiz says, I got 6. Cool. All right. So, my point of Maddie is this. She got her first deal, took her 47 houses, which means she got 46 no's and 1 yes. The second reason why it took so many houses is she was sending me like apartments in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. I told her specifically only Arizona deals multiple times. Okay. I told Maddie so many times, please stop sending me multifamily deals, Maddie. We're trying to do a single family house in Arizona. So do you see, guys, that she's sending me stuff that does not fit my buy box? And it had nothing to do with price. It literally is like, and her thing was like, well, you'll buy apartment building. I'm like, yes, Maddie, but this buy box that you're focusing on, I also buy businesses. I'm not teaching you how to buy businesses. I also buy apartment buildings. I don't want you to learn how to buy apartment buildings. I'm buying RV parks and mobile home parks. I don't want you learning that right now. Let's focus on the single family thing right now in your backyard. And I had to tell her that like 3 or 4 times in a very loving way. By the way, I love her. She is so sweet and she's so positive and she's so awesome. So a good portion of the amount of houses that she had to go through. Now, how many days did it take her from the day I met her to the day she got a check? Was like 20 days. 20 days. Okay. What was interesting, and I don't know if I think she'll be okay with this. Her and I had a conversation when I first met her, as I said, Maddie, I need you to agree to let me record everything that we do together. Okay. So here's the day she got her first contract, which is awesome. This was just a couple months ago. This is May 27th. I've been in Montana for the last couple of months, so her and I haven't hung out a lot. Let's see. The day she got her first contract, this is mind-boggling. We go to get her contract, and I want to show you guys something. Why would it do that? This video is playing on the TV using AirPlay. I don't want that. I don't want you freaking doing that. Get out of here. Here, let's go to AirDrop, Pace's MacBook Pro. Okay, so I'm going to show you this really cool thing. She gets her first deal. It's a $5,000 check. She got $5,000 on her first deal. She sent me 46 houses. We said yes to like the 25th one. It was too late. It already sold. Then she sold me on Memorial Day, I think it was. Like, I don't know if it was Memorial. It was a holiday. She got her first deal. Like, everybody else is barbecuing. This lady's laying on a cot in a women's shelter with 50 women around her. And she is sending me an address. She gets to this address. I go see the house. I go, yeah, I'll buy this deal. Okay. And a week later, so that was Monday, a week later on Friday, so 5 days later, her and I are at the bank getting her a check. And the bank was like, we're not even going to let you deposit this. This bank account has had no money in it for like 4 years. You know, she's up against multiple different walls that nobody in here really has that same problem. Here's the video. I was just downloading this. So this is me dropping her off right after she just got a $5,000 check put in her bank account. Guess where she's being dropped off to? She's being dropped back off at her shelter. And guess what they do? They go through, they make her take her shoes off, they frisk her, they do all this stuff. And I'm sitting here watching this. I'm like, this poor lady just had this massive triumph. She just had this massive triumph where now she has money in her account. She got her first real estate deal. And now they're frisking her to let her get back to her bed. You know, like, think about how demoralizing that really can be. And all she did, guess what she started doing? Just sends me more deals. Just sends me more deals. She's just on it, dude. This lady is freaking consistent and persistent. I am so proud of her. So proud of her. Okay, cool. So did she have to comp any property? No. Did she have to do the paperwork? No. When you find the right buyer, they'll do all of that for you. Okay. So Barack, any other questions on this?
And no, I think that the point that helped me a lot was the fact that the buyer will just offer the price that he's willing to pay, and that's where it kind of just goes from there. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's times where my team does stuff I don't love. Just being transparent, my team will answer stuff. People make, sorry, not a deal for us. And then I have somebody will come to me and say, Pace, your team's not giving me feedback. And then I have to go to my team and go, guys, why are we not giving feedback? Right? Because it takes time. I'm like, yeah, but that's a marketing thing for us. Like, we need people to understand why that's not a good deal, so they understand how to find us better deals in the future. So there's tweaks and problems. Like, my team's not perfect. Nobody's team is going to be perfect on buying deals, but you will find your right buyer. And I'll show you guys how to do that tomorrow, which will be a lot of fun. Has today been a good day for everybody? Should we do a couple of Q&A? How many people give this like a 10 out of 10 training today? Like, you open up your eyes, good analogies. The way I explain things could really got you to a point where you're like, I understand this. This is possible for me. I don't have to comp. I don't have to worry about the paperwork. I can do this. I don't need credit. I don't need money. I don't need to worry about the paperwork or like understand like all of the things I was afraid of doing. I can do this. How many people feel like that you can do this? Can somebody say yes, or I can do this in the side chat so I can see it? Give me some energy for tomorrow. Say, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Okay. I love that. How many of my haters are in here today just watching me be better teachers than them? Where are my haters? Are any haters in here? I get people that like follow me on social media and they're like, what is Pace up to now? Let me go and watch him teach. Why are thousands of people watch it, up to this guy? I'm going to copy and guys, it's all free to the world. I'll give it all away. Okay. I have no courses to sell. I have no mentorships. I do have a country club. I have it's called the community. I have a paid community, but I do not have a course. I give all that stuff away for free. Because if information was going to change your life, we'd all be billionaires. ChatGPT is a thing, right? Y'all need more information? No, you need information relayed to you in a way that actually makes sense to you. You need stories. You need things to add gravity to the situation. And then you need somebody to reach out and actually help you out. Okay. So all you guys out there that are haters that just want to copy and emulate all you want. Please, please. The more people learn this, the better off we all are. Okay. So I want to give you guys the 15,000 buyers list. I'll be doing that. But I want to go through, let's see, I'm 17 minutes later than I wanted to go tonight, but I do want to go to a couple of Q&A. So Barack, I already went to you. You had a great question, bro. Thank you for that. Chelsea, let's see if Chelsea, you raised your hand a long time ago, so let's see if you still have a question. Chelsea, what do you got? Okay. Never
No
mind.
questions.
Okay, let's go. Gabriel, I already had you. Let's disable you. Okay, I'm going to just lower everybody's hands real fast. If you have a question specifically to birddogging, please raise your hand. If you do not have a question to birddogging, I will immediately mute you. Please only ask a question as it pertains to birddogging. Zyra, how you doing? Zyra Malik. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. If you don't know how to unmute yourself, you're going to have a really hard time asking a question. Anthony Martin, how you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Really good. What do you got for me?
Really quick. So I've been watching your videos on YouTube, trying to get a little bit ahead, and you did mention going to the Facebook group to try to find buyers. Is there a way that you could get on that Facebook group and kind of show me the difference between what a buyer is posting, what a wholesaler is posting, or something else? Because to me, it's kind of hard to differentiate between buyers and wholesalers on there.
Yeah, because they lie, right? It's a free Facebook group. Nobody's paid me anything to be on the Facebook group. They're lying to you. And so if they're lying to you, they're going to be lying to me too. Okay. I can go in and be like, this person's probably not a buyer. This person's probably not the thing that they say they are. But the best thing to do to find a legitimate buyer, Anthony, is just take the 15,000 person list that I'm going to give you here in like 15 minutes and just call on that list, because I know those people are buyers. Does that help make sense?
Absolutely. Makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. Joshua Walters, what up?
Not much. I'm just curious how I'm going to be able to do this remotely from Canada.
Okay. I roll. Do you have another device going on, or is it just one device?
This one.
Okay, cool. You got some feedback. Okay, so I roll my eyes and grimace a little bit because this question's been asked to me multiple times. So let me ask you a question, Joshua. Can I, from Montana, right, your cousin to Canada, can I from Montana do a deal in Florida?
Yes.
So how do I physically do that? Is it because the internet exists?
Yes.
So how is it any different from Canada to Montana or Canada to Florida or Canada to New York? How is it any different?
It's not.
So where's the question come from? Help me understand where that question comes from.
Well, mostly because I have a criminal record, so I can't fly to the States.
Nobody cares if you have a criminal record in this business, bro.
Okay.
And you don't need to physically be anywhere to do this business.
All right. Perfect.
Let me ask you a question. You're copying and pasting addresses that somebody else got under contract to a buyer who's going to buy the deal. What part of you needs to fly down to the States?
None. Thank you.
Great question. I'm sure that there's other people that actually had that. So by the way, you guys got to understand my teaching style. Whenever I need to make a point really strong, I will tease you like a big brother, or I'll get like really intense with you. Do we all understand this is a teaching mechanism? It's not how I actually feel, Joshua?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, brother.
No worries.
Okay. Let's see. My screen is really dim today. Lee Hoffman. What do you got, Lee Hoffman?
Hey, Pace, got a quick question. You talked about only having one buyer,
In the
but
beginning, remember, in the beginning, just for the first deal. Now, here's the other thing. Lee, you live in America?
yeah,
Okay.
California.
Have you ever been at a four-way stop sign? Like there's 4 stop signs and you're the only person there. You know you're the only person coming up on the four-way and you just decide not to drive through the stop, or you decide not to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. So rules are okay to be broken. You just have to be smart enough to break them. Here's the problem, okay? When I'm teaching to 2,000 people, which is what I've been doing today, I have to make rules for those 2,000 people, assuming that they are going to overcomplicate it and they're going to screw it up. Here's what I mean by that. I know that stop signs are important. I know that. You know that. But I don't need to freaking stop my vehicle 100% and look both ways like an idiot when it's obvious that there's nobody there. That's dumb, right?
Right.
The problem is those rules keep all of us safe from the dumb people that need those rules. Does that make sense? Do we all agree with this?
Yeah.
Okay. I do this all the time. So, in fact, like today I was driving down, I almost want to do a screen share and show you where this 3-way stop is. I watched this guy. It's always a guy in a Subaru freaking Outback in Montana. It's like everybody in Montana has Subaru Outbacks. And I'm like, bro, you were literally at the stop sign 10 seconds before I even pulled up. I saw you completely stopped as I was still driving 30 miles an hour and I'm braking to the stop sign. And I stop at the stop sign just for you to look at me and go, are you going to go? Are you going to? I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I'm doing this to the guy like, freaking go, man, go. And I'm like, whoever married that guy, whatever woman has to be in the house with that man with the indecision and the freaking, oh my gosh, I'm frozen. That guy's coming down here. I need to make sure that some people live their life that way, right?
Right.
Cool. I have to make rules for everybody. And so are there some people that can have more than one buyer? And here's the problem with me saying this. Somebody's going to go, oh, that's me. I'm the guy that I don't need to follow that rule. Then what's going to happen is they're going to be on Reddit going, hey, that bird dog thing doesn't work. And then I go reach out to them. I go, hey, dude, I saw you on Reddit making a stupid comment. Here's my Zoom. Let's get on a call. And guess what the number one thing I find is? They had freaking 17 buyers and they couldn't focus on one. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got to make a generic rule for these people that need to just be told exactly what to do in their handheld. So if you're one of those people, which I don't think you are, But if you're one of those people of like, I just need the simplest way to get to a deal and I don't want to overcomplicate it. How many people are in here like, I just need a simple way with no complications. I will follow the exact steps. I will stop at the stop sign. Then once I get my first deal, I can start inventing new ways of doing the business. How many people are like that? Okay. So
Yeah.
people, you see all the people in the side chat that are not me and not you.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you somebody that can physically handle having more than one buyer at some point? Yes. Are you somebody that is physically capable of handling more than one buyer in the very beginning before you get your deal? I don't know. That's up to you. Are you smart enough to know that if you're doing this for 30 or 40 days, which by the way, if you're doing bird dogging and you haven't gotten a deal in 30 days, you're doing it wrong. But if on day 30, you still haven't gotten a deal, are you smart enough, my friend Lee Hoffman, to go, you know what? Maybe it's because I did what Pace told me not to do, which was have 5 buyers and I'm overcomplicating this and I'm not digging deep on one buyer. Are you smart enough to reverse engineer and go back to that step without blaming the strategy, but blaming yourself? I think you are. And hopefully that helps you determine which way to go.
Yeah, sure does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. Did that help everybody else out? Cool. Some people should do it step by step so they have no excuses. Okay. And I will give you all the steps by steps. It'll be a lot of fun. Let me do 2 more questions on here. Last 2 are dudes. Let me go to Allison. What up, Allison? How you doing?
Oh my gosh. Hi, Pace. I totally forgot my hand was up. Sorry. So somebody who really needs to just, what do you think about like RV, single family home? Does it RV park, mobile home park as a total newbie bird dogger?
Okay. So great. This is a wonderful question. Can everybody please write this down? Please write this down. Allison, such a great freaking question. Allison, how many RV parks are in the United States?
I have no idea, Pace.
Okay. I want you to remember this. Okay.
Yeah. Probably
17.
less than the single family homes.
Oh, yes. By such a significant margin, it's ridiculous. So there's 17,000 RV parks in the country.
Wow. It's
Okay.
less than I would have guessed.
How many average homes are in one zip code in the United States? Single family is around 15,000.
Oh, wow.
How many zip codes are in the United States is like 7,500 zip codes. So you start looking at, there is literally 7,500 more transactions happening on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis in single family. I don't know about you, but if I want a higher likelihood of a couple of transactions happening in the next 30 to 45 days, because proof of concept is probably more important than a check.
Yep.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
You sound like a girl that doesn't have financial issues. You want more, but you're financially okay. That's what you sound like to me.
Yep.
Isn't it weird how I know people so fast?
So weird.
It's so weird. But okay, so you sound good. You're either super independent or you have a really great partner and you've never worried about money. You came from a good family. You've never really worried about money.
I'm super independent now and I'm doing really well now. I grew up with a single mom and not doing so well.
Okay, cool. Cool. But a good mom that probably taught you really good work ethic, I would imagine, right?
She taught me how to grow up fast. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. So I can hear all of that just by the way you speak and the way you ask your questions, just so you know.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great, dude. Like your mom did a good job, which is awesome. And
yeah, she did.
You know, so I get to hang out with Tony Robbins like every 3 months at his house. And my favorite thing he told me was last year, he said, Pace, the only advantage you haven't given your kids is disadvantage.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank your gosh dang mom today and just say, Mom,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
I wish I could, Pace. She's gone, but
oh,
yeah.
That's too bad. Well, just give her some love in your
I
heart.
will. She,
okay,
yeah.
cool. So
she's amazing.
The frequency of the transaction is really important. So this is why I tell people, like I do a lot of multifamily. We'll talk about some of my multifamily deals tomorrow, but I do multifamily. I'll buy probably 200 units a year. I'm not the biggest investor in the world. I'm just the happiest investor in the world. But I'm doing 1 transaction a year in multifamily. Yeah, I could do 2 transactions a day in single family. So as somebody who's looking for proof of concept,
yep.
My friend Allison, I would tell you as your friend, I would say, hey, Allison, in 30 days, what do you want to be doing? You want to be doing RV parks, mobile home parks. You want to be doing some bigger assets because you deserve that. in order for me to reverse engineer to get you there, I'm going to give you 100% suggestion to start on single family for your first deal.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you're going to jump into RV parks and mobile home parks. I've got an RV park right now in Kermit, Texas. Where do you live?
I'm in Washington.
Okay, cool. So I've got an RV park that I've got under contract. It was bird-dogged to me. So a gentleman named Brandon Harris brought it to me. Brandon Harris is going to make 60 grand on the deal. I'm sorry, 90 grand on the deal, bringing the deal to me, which is awesome. And then also I negotiated with him. I said, if you go bring me a second deal, I'll give you 5% ownership on this, or I'll give you 20% ownership on this first one and 25% ownership on the second one. It's the wedge method, not something I teach outwardly. He's one of my students. And this deal we get under contract, Allison, is a deal, and this happens very frequently in RV parks and mobile home parks, which is why I'm going down this story. So we get under contract. It's a badass cash flowing RV park in oil town. The seller has 2 acres on the side, and we go, oh man, this is a great deal. Like, we can develop the 2 acres. This is great. So we get both of these things under contract, the RV park and the 2-acre parcel, as if it's the same transaction, but it's 2 properties. You follow?
Yeah.
Well, we go open escrow, we pull title, and we find out the seller doesn't actually own the 2 acres.
Wow.
But he says he does.
Wow.
And so guess what? This happens all the time in real estate. Weird crap like this is like on almost every transaction.
Wow.
So guess what? We were supposed to close in October. What is it now? Not October. Right? So, he's sitting there going, man, I was really wanting that 90 grand. I go, this is why single family is so great, is because when things do pop up, they do.
Yeah.
You should have a pipeline of deals. It's harder to build a pipeline of RV parks and mobile home parks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm your friend, your brother, your boyfriend, your husband, your cousin, whatever, I'm going to go, Allison, start with single family, make a goal to do 5 single family deals. Then we're going to upgrade you into RV parks.
Okay. Love that. Yeah. I need
Great question. Was that helpful for everybody else too, to understand why I teach
Yeah.
on single family a lot? I see a lot of people that are like jumping into multifamily. Like, they'll go watch my friend Grant Cardone teach multifamily all the time. And I'm like,
oh God,
99% of people should not be learning multifamily on their first deal. But Grant's really smart. He knows what he's doing. He teaches you multifamily, gets you excited, says single family is a waste of your time. And then you never actually get any traction. But what do? You invest in his multifamily and give him your money. Genius. Like, super smart marketer. I learned a lot of things from him. Not my style, but I learned a lot of things from him. I love everything about Grant.
Yeah.
Just not my style. So I look at him, I'm like, no, dude, like literally even Grant, what was Grant's first deal?
Single family. Yeah. He talks about it all the time.
Yeah. So it's like, what
family program course. And I was like, oh yeah, this is not, I know.
Let's ask this question. Would Grant be where he is right now if he never did a single family deal?
No, he needed that for confidence building. He needed to know he could do it. And
there you go. Skills, relationships, resources. Yeah. On every deal, you get new skills, new relationships, new resources, and proof that it's possible for you. So the faster we can get proof that this is possible for you, the faster you're going to get to where you want to go. And it's tough, dude. Like, as a super motivated girl, wanting to have things in your life, the biggest thing that's going to hurt you, I'll give you top 3 things that are going to hurt you. You ready for these?
Yes, I am.
Your self-worth of whether you deserve to be successful or not is going to be number 1 by far.
Yeah.
Because you get to a point where, like, the first time I saw $1 million in my bank account, I was like, I subconsciously could not wait to get rid of that money. Do you know why? I felt like I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Now I have $1 million in my bank account after multiple years of being seasoned by it. And I'm like, that's not enough money. What the heck? That's such a small amount of money, right? You have to transition into feeling like I'm worthy of this.
Yeah.
You will self-sabotage so many things in your life because of where you came from, what you feel like you deserve, and what you are worthy of. That's number 1, by far, the number 1 reason why I see people fail.
You're absolutely right.
Number 2, the second biggest thing you're going to deal with is the lack of connection to people that are doing deals and the environment. What are you into? You sound like an outdoorsy girl. What are you into?
I love being outside. Unfortunately, I have a desk job right now, and I see my patients over the computer. So I'm at my desk way more than I want to be.
Okay, cool. So you're into like hiking and doing fun things and paddle boarding and all of these types of fun things. Maybe being on a boat. You're in Seattle, so you guys like boats and teriyaki chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. We love the mountains, the water. Yeah, everything outdoors.
Cool. So like if you're hanging out with people that like to hike, what are you going to do more of?
Do more hiking.
Right. If you hang out with people that like to drink, what are you going to do more of?
Ugh.
But you get the point, right?
Yep.
So for me, if I want to hang out, if I want to do bigger things, I hang out with people that are doing bigger things. But the hard part about this is that from some point in our like young, life, like 5 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, like I watch my daughter who's 6 can make friends with anybody at any age like that. My 3-year-old daughter, same thing. But at some point when we get awkward in our 13, 14, 15, 16 years, that all goes away. And then we never really rebuild that up. So when you hear somebody say, go network with people that are doing things, go join a community, go be around people, blah, 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 blah. You're like, okay, one ear out the other, right?
Yep.
That's going to be a big problem. Like a massive, massive problem for everybody in here is going to be your connection to real people. The third biggest problem is, I wouldn't say it's definitely top 3. It's hard to describe. It goes along with like self-worth and self-esteem and all of those kind of things, but it's kind of like number 1 and number 2 together. It's your overall environment. So right now, like every conversation you have on a daily basis is about your patients. Meanwhile, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. It's 8:30 right now. I'm going to go hang out with my friends who also have kids. So I chose my friends very specifically. He lives in Montana. I wanted to be in Montana. He has 10 kids. I have a bunch of kids. His wife understands the entrepreneur life. I want my wife to hang out with other wives that understand that life. I then go and hang out with him on the boat. Guess what we're talking about? We're talking about real estate transactions and new laws coming out. Like every conversation I'm having is it. So the third thing is you're not immersed in it enough.
Right.
And I'm not saying doing the hard things and the calls and the things and the CRM that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, are you around it enough? Has it become your life? And the answer for most people is no. Their life becomes my life trainings or a YouTube or maybe a book, but then they never actually get into the flow of being around the people that also have the self-worth, that believe they can do it and have already done it. So like you're in Seattle?
Hour south.
Okay. So you're like not quite Gig Harbor, maybe a little bit south of Gig Harbor.
Yep.
Okay. So the girl that is currently running the back end of this webinar, her name is Carly Grunman. She runs my webinars. She's in Gig Harbor. She runs our meetups, like all of our physical stuff, all in Seattle, or not Seattle, but like that area.
Yeah. That's
Tacoma and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I could bring Carly, are you back there? You want to pop up here and just say hi real fast? Not that you guys need to be friends. I'm just highlighting to you. Like there's people that like Carly met me 3 years ago. She actually, I don't think she thought I was a scam artist, but she has done, I don't know, 100+ deals. She has built a portfolio. She helps other people get deals now. She buys a lot of RVs and like sells them on Creative Finance. She's so gangster, but she's the person that's running the chat and running the backstage. Hi, Carly. How you doing?
Good. Hi, how are you?
So isn't it funny, Allison, like it's going to be your number 1 problem by far is like being around the right people and the conversations. Like you get off your job with your patients and then you go home.
Yeah.
Then your free time is not hanging out with people doing real estate, I imagine, right?
Nope. It's with fam.
That's going to be your biggest problem.
Yeah.
And you married with kids?
Yeah. I have 4 kids and 3 grandkids.
Okay.
At 48.
I was going to say, you sound so young. There's no way you have grandkids. What the freak? 48?
Wow.
Yeah, 48. Yeah.
What are you freaking Mormon?
No, I'm Christian, but
okay. Love it. So Carly Grunman, my friend, I love her. She's like a sister to me at this point, but she has 2 kids. All of our meetups, people bring their kids.
Yes.
We all hang out. So like the thing is you've got to do, and I know this is a weird piece of advice, but a big thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that your family stays your focal point, but you need to have some of your family hangout stuff be with other family hangout stuff that are also real estate people. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does.
Once a month.
Okay.
Literally once a month will change your life.
Wow. Once a month. Okay.
Yep. Anyway, look up Carly Grunman on Instagram.
We're having a meetup next week. Oh,
What?
yeah, it's in the Seattle area. It goes between Seattle and Tacoma to get everyone, but we're having a meetup next week. Reach out to me.
I will. Oh my gosh.
And I'll give you the address and everything. I just don't know it off the top of my head, else I would now.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Carly.
Yes, I'm excited to meet you. And he's absolutely right. You have to do the family thing with the real estate thing, and it gets so in alignment that it's just all together. I was at a meetup 2 weeks ago in Gig Harbor, and both my kids were running around with the other kids, and they're all best friends. And they're like, "Is Kaden gonna be there this time?" So it really just flows really well. So
I love it.
Thank you, Carly.
guys.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so Allison, that I know that's like not real estate advice, but it's actually the biggest thing that holds people back is just the proximity. So it's like why I don't have a course. I do have courses. I just give them for free. It's why I don't have a mentorship, because I don't want a mentorship. I want a community of people that hang out with each other just like that. Like we have 150 meetups every week all over the country that are all family oriented. People bring their kids, their wives, their spouses, their fiancés, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, whatever. We got 51% of our people in our community are 51% are female. We have like 18% of our group is Hispanic. 15% is Asian. Like we are so diverse. We've got Black people and gays and everything you can imagine. It is a true community of like the most blended, unbelievable thing. But the coolest thing is that you can bring your kids. Like I will have a meetup, I think next week in Montana. And I can't remember when ours is, but I'll have a meetup and 150 people show up and they're all married with kids, all doing different types of deals. They're all like, oh, I'll help you with this and I'll help you with that. And da, 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 da. Next thing you know, you're texting them throughout the day. Next thing you know, you're calling them on the weekends. Next thing you know, they're a part of your life. And now every conversation is no longer about your patients and you're this and you're that. Of course, that has its place.
Sure.
But now your conversations are being replaced with real estate stuff. And that really will be the biggest game changer.
That's my goal. I want to replace my practice with real estate. So
love it. I did not pick up on the fact that you're a grandma on this call. And so now I feel like I failed you. So sorry about that.
how did you no, you didn't fail me at all. I started young. Yes.
It's freaking awesome. Good for you. I mean, you know, the secret of life. So I have this, I was at Tony Robbins' house in Idaho this last week, and he brought in this Harvard professor. He wrote the book, The Science of Happy, and Oprah Winfrey was like the co-author. And he said there's 4 reasons why people actually become happy in their life. And number 1 is your faith, right? Like a bigger purpose, a bigger thing, right? And whatever that is, you could be Hindu, you could be Muslim, you could be Christian, you could be whatever. Yeah. Number 2 is family, and not just being married, but like actually procreating and seeing the greatest joy of life is actually children. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, you are living, like you've already won in so many ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I totally agree.
You probably just wish you had more time with your kids. That's probably
it's exactly what it is. I have to work too much because I support the grandkids. So, no, I mean, I choose to. My daughter was a single mom, and so I wanted her to be able to be home with her kids. And so, you know, when they're
very cool,
it's really important. And yeah, I took on a lot of responsibility. So with pets, and which I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I want to spend more time with them.
Yeah. And it's not that like you're a worker just like me, you enjoy working, but I think probably the biggest thing for you is like you want to choose what you work on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love work. I probably couldn't not work. My kids are like, Mom, you love working.
Yes.
Don't lie.
Yes. And that speaks to me in the biggest way. So thank you, Allison. Great question. I think a lot of people got value from that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for all the time.
Of course. I'm going to be back here tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to be hanging out for the next couple of days. And tomorrow, the big thing is I'm going to show you guys how to get buyers. Allison, hopefully you'll be hanging out with us tomorrow. How many people, let me unpause the side chat. How many people are going to be hanging out with us tomorrow? I'm going to be giving you guys the buyers list here in just a second. How many people are going to be hanging out with me tomorrow? Do me a favor. Your biggest lesson, your favorite analogy, your favorite question that I answer today, do me a favor and go into the free Facebook group, Creative Finance with Pace Morby, that Facebook group. Just go in there and say, this is my favorite part of this challenge that Pace is doing this month. I do this every month. It's a different topic every month. And I do it for 4 days for free. Nothing to sell whatsoever. Do not have a course. I do not have a mentorship. I do have a paid community that Carly and other people are a part of, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to just help out and love on you guys. Let me get the buyers list. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you guys an expectation. Okay. Here's the expectation. When I give this to you, it is a Google sheet. If I have 1,800 people on here right now that are all going to go to this Google sheet, do we all agree it's going to be overwhelmed and you're going to be like, I can't get into it. And oh my gosh. And da, 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 da. Is that going to happen? Can we all just understand you should take it and try a couple of times? We will also email that to all 1,709 people that stuck around today. I will also email it to you, but let me put it in the side chat. By the way, tell my team, they hate when I do this. Tell my team, thank you for spending the $4,000 on you guys. Saravi did it. She's like, really? We're going to spend $4,000? Tell Saravi thank you in the side chat, please. Let her know like how grateful you are that we're doing this, because I don't fight with her. She's just like, we spend like $30,000-$40,000 a month on free stuff for people. And she's just like, why do you do this over and over and over and over? So just tell her thank you. And it'll help me give you guys more and more and stuff in the future. Tomorrow, what I'm going to give you, my goal is for you guys to get like $20,000 of cool freebies this week. Today, I'm going to give you a $5,000. I think it's $4,000. We spent $4,000 in the buyers list. I'm about to drop it in the side chat. I'm going to pause the side chat, put it in the side chat. We will also email it to you. Tomorrow, we're going to be giving you all the contracts. And then on day 3 and 4, I got some really cool special treats for you guys that are, one's worth like 17,000 and another one's like 8,000. So come hang out with us for the rest of the week. We'll have a lot of fun. Okay, here is the list in the side chat. It's a Google sheet for everybody on YouTube. Let me go over to YouTube as well. And let me give that to you guys over on YouTube. All right. By the way, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I know a lot of you guys probably on YouTube didn't know we were doing this, but here you go. There is the Google sheet in the side chat. And we will be back tomorrow at the exact same time, 5 p.m. As you guys know, I start right away. I do not dilly-dally. I jump right into it. If I were you, I would show up 5 minutes early. I was into it already. And by the time people were 20 minutes in, they were seeing the email. Don't make us send you 4 different emails to remind you. Just show up 5 minutes early. I'll give you guys, in fact, I'll give you guys a cool gift. For the people that show up in the first 5 minutes, I'll give you a cool gift. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll figure something out. Then at the end of the day, we'll go through contracts. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how to find buyers, how to find your buyer, how to script your buyer, how to get that first step done. We're going to give you guys homework tomorrow. It's all tactical stuff, a lot of fun stuff, a lot less mindset, a lot more traction and action. So 5 p.m. Arizona time, that's Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll be back here all 4 days. Monday, that's today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. A lot of my friends are in here. Love you, Justin Tumanowski. See a lot of my friends in here. Love you guys. Appreciate you. We will be back here tomorrow at 5 p.m. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Day 1, Birddogging Challenge over today. Tomorrow, we're going to give you homework so you guys can start actively participating. We'll see you guys.